Hello, everybody. Listening to the Fairweather Podcast. It's your boy 2K Suave. I'm here with Mr. Alex Rodriguez, and we have our favorite people in the world from Townie Sports, Mr. Sami, Mr. Vic. How you guys doing today?
I'll just live the dream, KK. Good to be here.
Thank you so much, KK, for having us on again. I can't wait to challenge all your takes on the New England Patriots today.
You know, we've been wanting to do this for a while to get you guys back on. You got, Sammy's over here acting like he's Cristiano Ronaldo, like I'm the best soccer player in the world. I'm like, okay, man, all right, let you do what you got to do. So
I'm not.
And then you're running like 8 miles on an empty stomach, and then doing leg day after that. I mean, I don't know how you're doing it, man. You're one.
Try
of those
to keep
guys.
active. That's all.
The man be, man. But yeah, thank you guys for coming back on. It's always a pleasure. It's only right that we have you on too, since we're going to be breaking down the AFC and the NFC East this week. So
yeah,
three of us, our allegiance is in the AFC East, and we have KK, the lone member.
Holding it down for the least.
Yeah. We just don't want any Cowboys fans on here. They're just going to make us sick. So
I would love to get a Cowboys fan on here, because that would be a fun conversation to talk about their Super Bowls in the last 25 years.
Like the different divisions, but weren't thinking that one straight, but whatever. So rundown of the show, we're going to open the floor up to let our guests talk a little bit, since they've been on numerous times. We're not going to quiz them or get to know them better. We all know they like Boston sports. In case you didn't know, Sami likes to run, and Vic has a family with a Mickey Mouse hat on. So
yes,
we'll break down the NFC East. We'll break down the AFC East. And then for our fun segment, we were brainstorming this last minute, and KK crunches the numbers all the time. When the shit don't add up, KK makes it add up every time. So our fun segment today is based off of the Marvel show What If, and we're going to make a spin-off on that of different situations in sports of what if this happened and how could the outcome could have changed. So like the what if this
KK,
happened.
that's brilliant, by the way.
Yeah, sometimes, man, I get into the lab and kind of lock in, and these things kind of happen. So
it's like Sammy's trying to come back to the show sometime soon.
No, I mean that's a brilliant segment, especially because it matches up with current events and what's going on with the Marvel universe and stuff. So.
Exactly. Did you guys see the Spider-Man trailer yet?
Oh, absolutely,
crazy,
awesome.
I'm prepared, man. I'm ready.
I know, Dad.
I'm ready to go.
It's gonna be dope, man. It's gonna be dope, man. But yeah, let's jump into things. So floor's open to you guys. We'll do a little segment wherever you want to talk about. Vic, I know you've got a lot.
The floor is yours.
Yeah, well, I again just appreciate you guys having us on. But last time we were talking, we talked hoops. So I thought we'd come back around and talk a little bit of summer hoops. Okay, standouts for me. Number one, personally, I'm in love with Jalen Green, guys. I don't know how you guys feel about him. He averaged over 20 points and shot over 51% from the field in summer league. Mm-hmm. Granted, it's always summer league, but if we remember, there were a few other summer league standouts over the past years, like Jason Tatum. You got Ben Simmons was a summer league standout as well. A lot of the young players up and coming, Donovan Mitchell was a big standout.
Devin Booker was one too.
Jeremy Lin back in the day.
Jeremy Lin,
summer league stand. I remember watching him that summer. I'm like, oh, he's going to be a problem. If somebody gives him a chance, he's going to be a problem.
KK, What about Michael Carter Williams? That one hurt.
Oh,
that was a summer league standout.
Rookie of the year. Hey, put some respect on his name. Rookie of the year, Michael Carter Williams, who is no longer a Sixer. But yes, the amount of players that are no longer Sixers that have done great in summer leagues or done great for us for a year or two it's insane. I can go down the list of former Sixers, and I can make an all-star team. Andre Iguodala, Finals MVP. Lou Williams, six-man of the year. God, I mean,
Thaddeus Young.
Thaddeus Young.
Brand.
Thaddeus Young. Come on.
Allen Iverson, let's go all the way back. Come on. No, but I love watching summer league because I love watching these young guys play, and they really get to show out. Not only Jalen Green, but a second-year guy, Bol. Second or third year, I forget what year.
When is Bol going to get a chance for real, though?
No,
I'm getting tired of all this just summer league and preseason stuff.
He played 3 games this summer league, averaged 22 points on 44% shooting. And that's 40% shooting from 3 guys, by the way. He's easily over 7-footer. So Bobo's still one of the most interesting prospects in the league. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, he's buried on that Nuggets team. So hopefully he gets a shot this year. And how about Cam Thomas and Tyrese Maxey too?
Whoa.
2 other guys.
Now we're talking. Now look, during the playoffs when we had the debacle with Atlanta, A-Rod can tell you about Atlanta too. But I got to the point in which I'm like, please leave Ben Simmons on the bench and just let Maxey go off and play, because the reason why we got Maxey is, you got to remember, we drafted Markelle Fultz after we already had Ben Simmons. And the reason why we wanted Markelle Fultz was to get Ben Simmons off the ball and kind of let him be like a point forward, like literally a point forward. Mm-hmm. So Markelle Fultz is supposed to be the guy that actually generated the offense, can get to the basket, can shoot the ball, mid-range 3-point. That was the whole idea of Markelle Fultz. Obviously, that didn't work out. So we go get Maxey, and he's literally what we wanted from Markelle Fultz. Obviously, the hype on Markelle Fultz was, for whatever reason, was super high. I was never really that big on him. I wanted Jason Tatum, and God, imagine if we had Jason Tatum.
Yeah, that's a what if right there.
That's a what if. If the Philadelphia 76ers drafted Jason Tatum, I'm convinced we have 1 ring at least.
I mean,
that's all we need. Just a 3 that can score, or whatever you want to call them, 2, 3, 4. I mean,
and then you really could have just had Simmons on the ball, and Simmons could have. Really, even when Tatum got the ball, he could go into the post with Embiid and just bully down there. Man, that would have been crazy.
Yeah, we went that direction. So
I'm happy that
Maxey is definitely he gives me a lot of hope. And then the young boy that we drafted. I mean, he's physical down there. I mean, we don't really need too many big guys. I mean, apparently we're interested in Paul Millsap, which I don't know what he's going to do for us. We just got Andre Drummond to help out with Embiid when he gets hurt 30 games a year. So I don't really think we need all this size down low, man. We need to kind of figure out what we're going to do with Ben Simmons. But I love having Maxey on the team. I hope he's not included in like a package that we have to trade to get like a Damian Lillard or something like that.
Don't forget your big signing of Danny Green too.
Hey,
you know how I feel
don't sleep on Danny Green.
You know how I feel about it. I love Danny Green to death. So I'm happy he's still in the locker room. He's going to hit some big threes. He's going to guard, he's going to guard whoever he needs to guard. So I'm happy with him. My only, Ben Simmons is obviously the concern. I don't know what the hell's going on there. Every summer he puts out the video where he's just shooting threes, mid-range. And I'm like, bro, do this in front of 20,000 people. Don't do this in front of the LA Fitness, bro. I don't want to see that anymore. So I'm getting tired of it, but if he wants to come back, I'll happily have him back. But he's got to go see a psychiatrist, psychologist, therapist.
Right.
Go to a mosque, go to Buddha, go somewhere where he can just calm down and clear his head and just calm down. I don't know. Yeah. So
I'm with you. And I had a question for you guys, my Philly and my New York guy. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see, but my guy, Peyton Pritchard, led the summer league in assists with 8.5 assists per game. And on top of that, also shot over 45% from 3, where he averaged 8 3-pointers attempted and 3.8 3-pointers made. So I think bright things in the future. That backcourt is starting to look a little clogged in Boston with Schroeder, Smart, Pritchard, but I'm all for it.
Just get rid of Schroeder.
I just want it to be noted that Celtics Twitter gave up on this draft pick when it was drafted. I was the only guy pushing for Peyton Pritchard.
I'll admit, you guys have been big on Peyton, so I got to give you guys all the credit in the world.
And he's got a jersey too. So,
but what are we gonna do with Dennis Schroeder? Like, do you really even want? Like, think about it.
I love it.
He just came off of a play for a contract year, and now he's going back into another. I'm playing for a contract year. And Peyton Pritchard seems to kind of fit that Boston mold already. Marcus Smart is obviously the guy. Is he a starting point guard, Marcus Smart?
Yeah, I would say Smart is a starting point guard.
So I don't know what they expect from Schroeder, but I feel like he's going to be a headache in the locker room. He's already depressed that he didn't get the money he wanted, and now he's going to go out there and try to prove himself too much. And then in a clutch situation when Tatum is wide open and Jaylen Brown is wide open and all these guys are just like, hey, give me the ball. He's gonna take a bad shot or
he's not going to be on the floor. So
you would hope not.
Yeah. So my thing is, so Dennis Schroeder, I mean, what was the Celtics' problem last year, Sammy? It was depth. We didn't have depth. We didn't have bench scoring. Schroeder gives us that. Realistically, when Schroeder comes in, it's going to be him and Jay Rich running that second unit. So he'll have, he'll be able to do whatever the hell he wants that second unit. If this was the third leading scorer on the Lakers last year, and he's going to be our sixth man, maybe coming off the bench, maybe our seventh,
which he's better suited for as a sixth.
Yeah,
man.
And I love
Atlanta, 6 men in OKC, but now he feels like he's a starter. So that's my problem, is that his mentality needs to come back to being like a Lou Williams. Like, look, I'm happy to come off the bench, give you guys some buckets and give you guys some energy. That's what he should be. But
I think in this situation, we're probably more suited with Udoka as the coach, having him come in here and probably acclimate to the locker room a lot better. He's more of a players type coach. And I think maybe if Brad Stevens was still here as the head coach, maybe we would probably talk a little more about him potentially being a headache. Mm-hmm. But I think Udoka is a really good players coach for these guys.
I do like Udoka, Nigerian, of course. So, I have no issues with that whatsoever. I promise you.
Yeah, but I just wanted to bring that up and see who you guys' standouts or who your favorites were from.
Well, what did you think about Cade Cunningham compared to Jalen Green?
I actually liked Jalen Green better than Cunningham, but I liked what I saw from Cunningham. I think Cunningham showed me that he can be a good player and in the league, and not only that, but also be a good shooter. I believe, and I'm looking at it right. Okay, he shot about 50% from three, which is super impressive. But on top of that, and it's not like he didn't attempt a lot of threes. He attempted about 9 threes a game. Yeah. So he made about 4 of them, 4.3 or whatever. But I was impressed by Cade Cunningham. I still like Jalen Green. I don't know, something about Jalen Green, like that guy just seems like he's pissed.
His fire, yeah. He has a chip on his shoulder.
Kind of like that, like Kobe, like that, like F you, I'm gonna
trying to kill you.
Yeah. And always the issue with me with Cunningham was he was kind of passive. Mm-hmm. But I'll tell you what, I didn't realize he was as good as a scorer as he is. Mm-hmm. And not only that, he facilitated well too on offense. I feel like now that didn't really show in the assists, but he's a bigger point guard, kind of like I hate to make this comparison because they're both two tall point guards, but Cade Cunningham and Ben Simmons. Okay. So Ben Simmons that can shoot.
Well, so when I was looking up draft boards and I was kind of watching stuff, the comparisons I got were actually Jason Tatum.
Yeah, Tatum.
And like a mix between him and Luka Doncic. That's what I was getting. That's what I've read. I actually see a lot more Tatum in him, a little bit more refined as a passer, but I did see what they were talking about, like a little bit, as when I was watching. Yeah. I wasn't really paying attention to what Oklahoma State. I mean, I sometimes like certain college. Like, I know Marcus Smart came from there. I actually like Marcus Smart in college a lot, but
me too. I like when he punched that guy in the face.
Yeah, like I like chip on talk about chip on his shoulder.
Yeah,
that's Marcus Smart. He always played with that chip on his shoulder. So I think Cade can bring that, but my only concern is like he might be too cool for school and he's playing in Detroit, who, it's Detroit, and you never know what you're going to get. You're either going to be really good or they're going to suck. So it's bad boys or suck. And then it was 04, 05, 06, 07, and then they've sucked ever since. So
they haven't really had a star in Detroit.
Yeah.
And a while. I mean, I wouldn't even say, even the bad boy Pistons, there was no star other than maybe Chauncey, but maybe Mass Grip, but
because none of them were superstars, but they were all stars in their own right. Ben Wallace is about to go to the Hall of Fame. Rashid is Rashid, and then Chauncey's like one of the greatest like point guard leaders as far as leadership. And then Rip, Rip, and then Tayshaun was long and
Tayshaun
everybody. So they had a good nucleus there. And then Bad Boys, they like the original Bad Boys. I mean, Isaiah Thomas,
Bill Laimbeer.
Yeah, Bill Laimbeer was beating everybody up and grabbing all these boards, and Rick Mahorn was beating everybody up, and Dennis Rodman was beating everybody up. So
that's throwback.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna see.
Yeah, I just can't wait for Hoops to come back.
Yeah, I'm a little excited for two reasons. Because I really do want to know what's going to happen with Ben Simmons. I'm hoping it leads to a Damian Lillard. My dreams will come true. And then if not that, I always have LeBron, and we're going to see what the hell's going on in LA with Russ and AD, and whatever they decide to do with that lineup is going to be kind of weird. But I am excited to see what they decide to do, what's going to happen with Philly, who's going to, how good is Brooklyn going to be? Are they going to be healthy? There's a lot of good storylines this year. So.
Well, what's interesting too, before we move on, I'm sorry to keep harping on basketball, but what's interesting is the Celtics just re-upped Josh Richardson, right? For an extra year. His contract with Al Horford's contract fits perfectly with the Bradley Beal sign and trade. Okay. So the Celtics might be able to get Bradley Beal without having to give up a core piece like Marcus Smart.
I don't know if you remember. I said this back in January and February. I said, look, I didn't know Giannis was going to win a championship this year. But I remember I said, You guys go get you a Giannis and then go get you a Bradley Beal, and you have yourself a KG and a Ray Allen. That's what I said back in January and February. Bradley Beal, to me, is available. I don't think the world knows that he's available, but he's definitely available for the right price. So
yeah, I see him. I don't think he's coming this season. I think he's coming. I think it's going to be the sign and trade next season. Yeah, but I think Bradley Beal's a Celtic next year for sure.
We'll see. I can see that. I can see Bradley Beal definitely in a different uniform. Maybe Philly. Yeah. I mean,
But don't fuck around and sign Kuzma, whatever you do. So.
Stay away from that. Well, he might be more focused now that he's not in LA anymore. But
with the Kardashians and shit.
Exactly.
I don't fuck with that boy like that, man. his hair's too many different colors. Like just.
Hey, Dennis Rodman, what you mean?
His hair looks like the fire coming out of the Jets thing in the background.
All different colors, man. All different colors. All right. Let's talk some football now.
Let's listen. This is a big episode, guys. It's the AFC East, the NFC East. It's gonna be an amazing episode. Go ahead. Let's take it away, man.
Are there any other divisions in football? Like I don't think so,
man.
We are East Coast elites on this podcast.
East Coast, West Coast bias for sure. I mean, East Coast bias. East Coast bias.
All right, let's go NFC East first. Let's start there. A division that's been predominantly really, really good in the past years, very, very tough, and it's slowly just falling apart. And it's kind of building back up again. A lot of second-year head coaches. One first-year head coach with the Philadelphia Eagles. KK, I'll let you cry about that when we get there. But we'll start first with the Washington football team. Break that down. So key additions, go and get Ryan Fitzpatrick, Adam Humphries, Curtis Samuel, franchise tag, Brandon Shreve, and then cornerback William Jackson. Key departures, Alex Smith said, I'm out of here. I'm done. I'm calling it a career. The Jets get Morgan Moses. Yay. Ryan Kerrigan's gone. Cornerback Ronald Darby. And then they drafted Jamin Davis, offensive tackle Sam Cosmi, cornerback Benjamin St. Juste, and wide receiver Diami Brown. So historically, I guess the Washington football team has been pretty bad last couple of years, but they finally made a playoff game and kind of almost beat Tom Brady. And they're giving this kid Heineke a chance to start at the quarterback helm. But we all know it's going to be Fitzmagic running that plug and play until we can guess what we're going to do at the quarterback position next year. Do you think they can go on the same type of run now that a lot of players are coming back and the Dallas Cowboys look a little bit different? Do you think that Washington still has a caliber to make playoff push? Whoever wants to go first.
I'll take it. Because I'm taking this one first because I'm gonna just call it right now.
It's your division, man.
The Washington.
Yeah, that's all you.
And this is the division I play the most. I watch all the games because I need to know who you got to know your opponent.
Got to.
The Washington football team is the best team in that division, in my opinion. Okay. Now, the only problem that they have is like quarterback to me, because Fitzmagic is only going to have so much magic left in his tank, and then he's going to start making some boneheaded plays. And then Heineken had the game of his life against the Bucs and almost won, but it wasn't like he was amazing. He's just no one had any tape on him. Now they have tape on him. Heineken's going to be, and I know that's not his name, but Heineken's not going to be the starter at any point this year. So My problem with the Washington football team is that they should probably go get another quarterback. Because again, we know the story about Ryan Fitzpatrick. He'll have 2, 3, 4 really good games. Wow, he looks like a Hall of Famer. And then it all kind of just, I mean, you're a Jets fan, A-Rod, you know. You guys watched him as a Jet, you know. You guys watched him as a Dolphin, you know. Like,
and a Bill.
You know what? Exactly. You've seen him as a Bill. You understand what he's going to do, right?
Yeah.
And then the Harvard comes out, and he's really a book nerd. He's not a football player. So he needs to have his good games. But the thing that I do like is that it is Rivera, right? They're going to run the football, and they have the guys to do it. Antonio Gibson, McKissick, even Peyton Barber's there. Their offensive line is not bad. It's a pretty good offensive line actually. And then they got weapons now. They brought in Curtis Samuel. I like the pickup of Diami Brown. I like Adam Humphries for them as well. So they have, and then that's what Fitzmagic, and then Scary Terry obviously. So he's gonna throw it deep. He's gonna get a lot of big plays. He's gonna throw a lot of interceptions as well. Logan Thomas obviously had a really good season last year. I think he'll continue that. So offensively, they'll be okay. That's dependent on what we get from the quarterback play. Now, defensively, they're elite. I mean, they have no holes on defense. The defensive line is going to come in. I mean, Chase Young, as a Michigan Wolverine fan, it's crazy how many Ohio State players are so great in the NFL, and I bow my head down to all of them. You know, Chase Young, and I love Justin Fields. You know, Zeke has had a pretty good career. Like a lot of these guys, Michael Thomas, a lot of these guys, you know, they're going to be productive, and Chase Young is going to be extremely productive again. Their defensive line, Jonathan Allen, Montez Sweat, Damon Payne, and then Landon Collins in the secondary, the William Jackson, the third pickup, I really did like as well. Kendall Fuller, great pickup as well. So defensively, they're going to be great. They're going to be great. So it's going to be kind of like, they're not like, 2000 Ravens great or 2011 Ravens or 85. They're not that great, but they're going to hold teams. I mean, in this new NFL, they're going to hold teams to under 21, and that's what you got to do. Now, can Fitzmagic get you over 21? He can, but he's going to have games in which he turns the ball over, and it kind of just depends on how they run the offense and everything. But outside of the Fitzmagic question, I think this team is very well built, and I think they're going to be fine.
I'm going to respectfully disagree. While I do agree with the defense part, I think the team's defense is incredible. And I think you look at them in a similar situation of where the Patriots were last year. Both teams went 7-9, and both teams went 7-9 because of their defense, not because of their offense. But I think when you look at the other teams in the division, and you're probably going to, thank me for saying this, KK, you look at the other teams in the division, the other teams in this division added to their offense. They did things to make their offense better.
You don't think Curtis Samuel is an addition?
Curtis Samuel, hold on. Let me look at this real quick with what we have with Washington, who they added.
I really like that Curtis Samuel.
Ryan Fitzpatrick. I just, at the quarterback position, it's so important, right? I mean, you take the quarterback out and your team could easily, that's a 4-game swing. You know what I mean?
It is.
But I could go out and say Heineke may be. We could say here right now, Heineke's not the quarterback, and he can go out and win 11 games, right? Because the team is fit for him. I'm not saying he will, but that's such a huge question mark, right? I can't just sit here and say, oh, maybe their cornerback is not that good. Maybe their defensive back is kind of suspect. No, their quarterback position is super suspect, and that's a major thing. And I think if you look at what the Dallas Cowboys did, you look at what the Eagles did. I'm not even going to say the Giants, so maybe they'll be better than the Giants. I'll give them that. But I just don't see this team winning 7 games again with just their defense.
No, those are all great points, Sammy. But if you look at their defense last year, they were second in total defense, second against the pass, 14th against the rush, and 4th in scoring. So they got the defense there. There really is an argument to be made that Washington is a good quarterback away from being the best playoff contender in the NFC East. But let's be, like you said, with the Patriots last year, it's difficult to find a good quarterback. And, relying on Heineke and relying on Ryan Fitzpatrick might be detrimental, I think, to.
But the Patriots didn't even have offensive weapons. It's not like the Redskins don't have offensive
weapons.
Yes,
and actually they do have great weapons. They have McLaurin, they have Samuel Brown, they have Logan Thomas, they have Antonio Gibson, who's a rising star in the league for sure. But if you look at their offensive stats from last year, 30th in total offense, 25th in passing, 26th in rushing. So.
And they were last in sacks allowed.
But let's look at what we're coming off of. We're coming off of Dwayne Haskins, who was just not locked in, and he was not locked in at all. And then Alex Smith coming off of a catastrophic injury. Yeah, so they're going from that to at least somebody who's okay. Like Fitzmagic is going to lose you a game or two, maybe, but he's also going to win you a couple of games as well. So
I'm with you, and I like this team at 8-8. 16 games or 17 games now, 8-9. I think they can win 7 games again. I think they might be able to get 8-9. And I know we on our podcast we went over the NFC East last was it yesterday, Sammy? And
yesterday.
Yeah, last night. So my predictions might be different from yesterday after Sammy talking to me and various friends shitting on me for my picks yesterday. But no, I think that Washington's going to be fine. Not fine. With every team in this division, I feel like it comes down to quarterback play. Literally every team in this division is what are they going to get from the quarterback position? There's not, and even with Dak Prescott coming off an injury, I don't want to step ahead of ourselves, but even with the Cowboys, there's still questions at quarterback. What's going to happen? Mm-hmm. Any of these teams can win this division if they get good quarterback play. I personally think Washington is definitely the first or second best team in the division without including quarterback. Once we put in quarterback play, I think they finish third in the division.
And spoiler alert, all these teams in the division, I have them pretty much finishing exactly the same record. Basically.
Right.
So it's not like I'm saying they're gonna go 14-3, but But yeah.
No, I know what you're saying because it could really go either way. You know, like you said, Fitzmagic can come out there and do what he does, and he does win games, and he does lose them too. But most of the time, he puts you in a position not to lose a game. Mm-hmm. That's what he does best.
And to your point, KK, even Vegas has the odds of all 4 teams between 7 and 9 games.
Exactly. So, literally, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, looking at this team, they're young. They keep getting younger. I have no complaints with the defense. At least they gel and they work. They obviously got rid of Ryan Kerrigan, who's been like a lifer there for his career.
And guess where he's at now?
Philadelphia.
Fly, Eagles fly.
They bring in a guy like a Ryan Fitzpatrick, who's I'm not going to say a good game manager. He'll win you 4 or 5 games. He'll go on a hot streak. But hey, man, it's back there behind me. I remember it. So it'll come crashing down real quick. Bucks fans came back down. I love when he was with the Bucks and brought them back down, man. They were making T-shirts and selling that shit at Publix like hotcakes. And then
blame Deshaun Jackson for that one.
Yeah,
I kept telling him because I saw him with the Bills, I saw him with the Jets, and I kept telling all the Bucks fans, I'm like, just wait. It's only like 2 games in. Just wait. You got about 2 more games left before he just drops.
He's a journeyman, but in the right system, he'll do well. This is just a bridge till they find out what they're doing to the quarterback position. And, you know, Vic jumps the gun all the time before I can speak and says everything I'm going to say. So, yeah, the whole division sus quarterback, like everybody's sus there except for Dak Prescott. And we don't know what he's going to be, if he's going to be fully healthy going into this. So if they can get like a guy who's cut going into the season, if Mariota gets cut or something,
he would never get cut, but they should go get him.
Well, there's issues with his contract. They're trying to get him to do the pay down or whatever, unless he already settled for that.
Mariota?
Yeah, they want to restructure his deal.
Yeah, they want to restructure. His agent would be stupid to do that. So
that'd be dumb as hell. Yeah, no.
On a prove it deal.
There's an idiot born every day. So I'm just.
This is not Dennis Schroeder. He's not going to restructure his contract.
I'm not giving a hot take or anything. I'm just saying, like, if a guy like that is available, go get him.
I agree.
They definitely need another quarterback. But I think they had a good draft. Looking at it, I like jamming throwing another one in there, getting a Sami Cosmi to plug in from Texas on the offensive line, get younger, get better, get bigger. The offense is whatever to me. I mean, they do have Scary Terry. Curtis Samuel really doesn't turn heads for me. Like, he's got potential to do very
he doesn't
well.
turn heads, but yeah.
He's just like an average. He just
a good number 2, though.
Yeah.
That's a real good number 2.
Actually, no. I prefer him as a number 3.
Yeah, but he can easily be a 2, and he'll know his role there. Like, I don't think he's trying to outtake. Everyone knows Terry's the number 1 there. And then Humphries is a good slot guy when used properly. And I think his rapport with Fitzpatrick in Tampa Bay will definitely work. So, I mean, I like it. I think they're second best team in the division, and we can go and give predictions now on the record. I'm gonna give them 9-8 on the season. That's what I'm gonna give them.
Yeah, so I set my over under for them at 8.5, and I like their defense more than I hate Ryan Fitzpatrick, so I gave him the over. So I put him at 9-8.
Yeah, the over under according to Vegas is 8.5.
Is it? Wow, look at that.
Yeah.
I'm Vegas.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I saw that they also had the 15th strength of schedule. And to add to what you said, A-Rod, it's kind of unfortunate that their defense is so good, because their defense is so good to a point where they'll probably never have like a top 5 pick. So they'll never be able to reach for a quarterback.
They call that purgatory.
Exactly.
Yeah, for real.
Well, move one of your defensive players and go up, man. Give your draft a defensive player. If you think about it, they're stockpiling defense every year. They draft a defensive player every year.
You know what? All they got to do is follow that Bucks model. Hey, veteran quarterback, are you available? Because
hey, Aaron Rodgers, how you doing, buddy?
Exactly, Aaron Rodgers next year.
Oh, imagine
Russell Wilson wants out of. I honestly think Russell Wilson wants out of Seattle. So Russell Wilson should be on the phone with them. I mean, go get Gardner Minshew at least. I don't know, something else. Just Nick Foles. I don't
have Fitzpatrick, I think, though.
But yeah,
there's a lot of names to throw out there. Gardner Minshew. You know what's going on in with the Broncos. Who's going to be the guy there? Does somebody want out of there? I mean, that'd be a perfect place for Teddy Bridgewater, in my opinion. But obviously,
oh yeah,
I think Teddy Bridgewater gives him the same amount of wins, though. He doesn't change life. You need somebody who's like going to change your life a little bit.
I still believe, though. I still believe.
Yeah, I like Teddy. I just feel like he's like Alex Smith to me. He's just like, he's Reese's ceiling. You know what you're gonna get. He's gonna get you 10-6 or 9-7 at best, but that's it. So
don't sleep on Teddy Two Gloves, man. He can crush it.
Teddy. All right, let's go another team. Let's go to
7-10, by the way. Sorry.
You got 7-10?
Yeah.
Wow.
No love. 8-9, right, Vic?
Yeah, I'm 8-9.
All right.
Well, they were 7-9 last year, so I just said they took the loss.
And I think they're a little bit better than last year. That's just me, though.
I think so too. Yeah, I think so too.
They added talent that they didn't have last year. They had no number 2 receivers last year, and now they at least have a Curtis Samuel, and they got De'Ami Brown. So
they have a better quarterback,
and they know the quarterback situation.
Who was the quarterback last year?
It was Alex Smith, and it was Dwayne Haskins in the beginning, and he was going to strip clubs during COVID. and then it was Alex Smith coming off of his leg almost being amputated. So they went from that to at least Fitzmagic. So I more than 7.
Hopefully they can get a run out of it, but we'll see. All right. Let's go to the other shitty New York team. Let's go to the Giants.
Football Giants.
Second year for whatever your Patriots special team guy's name is, coaching him or whatever. Everyone
Judge?
Yeah, whatever.
Who's Joe Judge? I don't remember him.
I don't know who he is either.
I don't acknowledge a Joe anything.
It's a dumb signing, but it's just like what's left of the Patriots coaching staff. We'll take it, man.
Yeah.
If the towel boy was there, somebody's gonna hire him for a head coaching job.
Yeah.
Second year head coach. Saquon Barkley is supposedly coming back.
Mm-hmm.
I kept him in fantasy, so you better be good.
Yeah, they added some decent players around to make things better. Let's run it down. Key additions. They add Devontae Booker to back him up, Corey Clement and Alfred Morris. So there's 3 solid running backs right there to back him up. Someone's going to stay, someone's going to go. Who knows what's going to happen? They go and get wide receiver Kenny Galladay, who's their big signing. Mm-hmm. They take a gamble on the fast guy John Ross, tight end Kyle Rudolph for blocking purposes, I'm guessing. Franchise tagged and signed my boy Leonard Williams. It kills me to see that, but he's there. defensive tackle Danny Shelton, linebacker Reggie Ragland, and cornerback Adoree Jackson. I don't know why the Titans let him go.
Yeah.
Key departures, journeyman and all-around good guy and backup Colt McCoy is gone. Wayne Gallman is gone. Dion Lewis failed out there. Devontae Freeman's little stint is gone. Golden Tate is gone. Kevin Ziegler is gone. Cameron Fleming is gone. And Dalvin Tomlinson is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now the draft picks, wide receiver Kadarius Toney, defensive end Azeez Ojulari, and cornerback Aaron Robinson, which I think are 3 solid 1, 2, and 3 draft picks for you. So I'm not hating on their draft pick. I think Coney was a little bit weird. I think he could have went and got defense, as you went and signed Kenny Galladay, and you have John Ross, and you got John Ross, and you have Sterling Shepard, and you have the other tight end who's supposed to be really, really good who you're not throwing to.
You know why they did it though?
Because it was there.
No, because they wanted Devontae Smith, and then we traded right above them with the Cowboys to get Devontae Smith. So they were like, well, fuck, I can't get Devontae Smith more. So they traded down. So they accumulated picks for next year and still got a receiver that they like. So they actually, to me, how they went about doing it, I was actually impressed that they had that much, vision to do that. And Tony, listen, if Tony plays to his potential, Tony is going to be perfect for that team. So, I mean, I don't want to call him Percy Harvin but he could be like Percy Harvin. And Percy Harvin, when his head was right and he wasn't migrained up and whatever.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah, he was.
That's another what if.
That's a what if. I mean, if he stay healthy, yeah.
Daniel Jones at the helm once again, and I feel like this is a make or break year for him. At what point do you have to give up on the Daniel Jones experience? Because
1,000%.
The big thing out of college was he had nobody to throw to. He just looked really, really good. He was making smart plays. I don't know. It's like your typical Boy Scout answer for everything on the way he was playing. So I'm not sold on him. He looks too stiff. He looks like War Giraffe 2.0 to me. So I don't know. At what point do you throw in the towel, and what's your guys' outlook for the Giants? Because
I mean, look, for somebody you said that looks stiff, the man when he gets busy, when he gets out the pocket, he can run. He trips and falls every now and then, but he's fast. He's a faster guy. But obviously, kind of just like the Washington football team. Believe it or not, I actually like the makeup of the Giants. I just don't like the quarterback. It's the same story, different team. It's just, he's not like, if Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson can go to Washington, New York, Philly, or Dallas. Well, not Dallas. Dak's fine. But if he goes to any one of those teams, either one of those teams can make it to the Super Bowl next year. It's that simple. So I think the Giants did a very good job addressing their defense in the offseason. And offense. I mean, I think they did a good job addressing both sides of the football. I love Logan Ryan. I love Adoree Jackson. James Bradbury was a top 100 player in this year. I think it was like number 77 or something like that. I like Blake Martinez. I like Leonard Williams. I think their defense is kind of underrated. I think they were ranked 11th or 10th or 11th last year in overall defense.
I think they were like a top 5 in the second half. Like the second half of the
year. They came on. Well, they were all NFC East teams in the second half. That's why. So.
Sami stole my thunder. I was going to say that they actually won 5 of their last 8 last year.
Yeah.
Including a win against the Seattle Seahawks.
Yes. I remember that. I remember that game. I was shocked. I remember that game. So the Giants are not, I think, and as much as I give a lot of grief to Joe Judge, I think he's a crybaby and likes to complain. But outside of that part, he's not a bad coach. He obviously, that Patriot tree is, they're all kind of the same personality where they're going to beat the drum and be loud and try to be like, come on, we're going to play defense and just don't screw it up offensively kind of thing. So actually, I think it's going to be a good team. But again, it's the same thing with how I feel about Fitzmagic. I feel way less about Daniel Jones. I remember I was at World of Beer when that draft happened, and I saw that I remember it was the same draft that Cleveland Farrell got drafted by the Raiders, and I was like, what? Then Daniel Jones got drafted by the Giants, and I was like, what? So it was like one of those drafts where there was a lot of whats, and that was a big what for me. We're gonna see. Saquon's back. So that should be something there. But the O-line is not good. So if the O-line still sucks, Daniel Jones is going to get sacked. He's going to see ghosts like Sam Darnold did for you, Mr. A-Rod. He's going to see the same ghosts he was seeing in the last couple of years.
Right.
And he's not going to have time to get the balls. I mean, they have great weapons. Sterling Shepard. I mean,
Darius Slayton.
Slayton's the tight end. Was it Evan
Ingram?
Ingram.
He's not. I mean, he had the drops and he missed some catches.
He's talented.
The talent is obviously there. The talent is obviously there. So I think the talent for this team offensively is there and defensively is there. It's just offensive line and quarterback. I'm not sold on that. So
yeah,
that's where I'm.
No, I'm with you. I think the NFL learned a valuable lesson these past few years. In North Carolina and Duke are still basketball schools.
Yeah, applause. I need to find like an applause button so I can put it in. I'll put it on this podcast. That was amazing. That was an amazing take.
I mean, this Trubisky and Daniel Jones have not worked out. Let's go over the tail of the tape for last year for the Giants. So 31st in total offense, 12th in total defense. Like Sami mentioned, they came on strong at the end of the season. So I'm not as bullish on the Giants, the New York Football Giants, as I was on the Washington Redskins, and a lot of that actually, goes to what you and Alex just said, KK and Sami as well. There's a lot of question marks with Daniel Jones. He's not good at all, and they don't have a Fitzmagic or somebody. So when he fails to go,
who is their backup? Has anybody looked that up?
I have no idea. I'm sure Sami's gonna tell me in 2 seconds.
I was gonna put it, but it didn't seem relevant, or you'd make fun of me for it, so I didn't do it.
Hey, who is it? Do you know?
Mike Glennon.
My God, Mike Glennon.
So they got another war giraffe on the team.
Yeah, Jesus. I mean, that's bad. I mean, they're in trouble. And then another team here in the NFC East that's like, okay, can they make a play? I'm just reiterating what you guys are saying.
Yeah.
If they can make a play for Russell Wilson, if they can make a play for an Aaron Rodgers, this team might be able to go somewhere. Now they do have a really good offensive line. That hasn't changed. So let's see what they can do. But we also have to remember who their offensive coordinator is. It's Jason Garrett. So they'll probably finish 8-9 or 9-8.
And that exactly. Thank you. Exactly. It's Jason. Before you go, Sami, what pisses me off is that we went to this stupid 17-game schedule because I miss 8-8. Like I miss because Jason Garrett is Mr. 8-8.
Yeah.
Jeff Fisher was Mr. 7-9. I miss that. So.
Actually, you know what? 8-1 for the Giants. That's my prediction.
Oh, Vic, listen. I wrote down on my paper 8-1. I was like, let's not do that.
8-1.
I did write that down, which is hilarious, but I'm like, all right, whatever. Sami,
I think I'm probably the opposite of you guys. I actually like what I see out of Daniel Jones.
Wow.
And I think that's taking it with a grain of salt, though, right? Obviously, you guys are just going to roll your eyes at me. But if you look at an offense that's pretty much driven around Saquon Barkley, you got to understand that when your offense completely changes because of a player of that caliber, things are going to look very, very awkward. That's true. I think the biggest question mark here is, can Saquon Barkley be the same player that we saw before injury? And I think if he does, that's going to make Daniel Jones even better, and that's going to make all those wide receivers even better. And I'm not just sitting here saying, Wayne Gallman didn't do his job. Wayne Gallman was actually a tremendous stopgap, right?
But
at the same token, if you're a defense, do you care about Wayne Gallman? No. You're not game planning for Wayne Gallman. So,
and they still finished 19th in rushing.
Huh?
They still finished 19th in rushing, even with Wayne Gallman.
No, I mean,
and Devontae Freeman.
Yeah, that's about middle of the road. But I mean, you take a player of that caliber out. Daniel Jones is obviously going to have to do a lot more things, probably rush more things. And to your point, though, the O-line is terrible. That O-line is very bad.
No, they're bad. They're a good O-line.
They allowed 50 sacks last season, most in the NFL.
That's because they didn't have to stack the line for Saquon Barkley, but
that's what I'm saying.
But Saquon's rookie year, they were pretty good, and they're still young.
Listen, you know the one thing I trust Pro Football Focus on is offensive line rankings, because they do a very good job breaking it down. Going into 2021, PFF has their O-line ranked 32nd in the league.
Okay,
how many football teams are in the NFL, Vic?
32.
Okay, they're ranked last, and that's with Nate Solder coming back from his hiatus that he took. So, and then Will Hernandez is like the only thing that they have. It's Nate Solder, we don't know, and then Will Hernandez, he's good, but okay, 32nd. So, and his Daniel Jones' pocket presence is not good at all.
And that's another thing, though, is maybe that offense was built for more of a running game and a play action game versus actually having to pass the ball.
Kind of like Tennessee.
So, you got to take all that into consideration. So I think Daniel Jones deserves at least another year. I think he's probably better than Fitzpatrick and Heineke. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt because he's younger and his spiral.
I'll take Fitzmagic.
Way better.
I'll take Fitzmagic.
But regardless, I don't know about you guys. I've been burned too many times by Kenny Golladay to actually trust that he's going to play a full season. We're already finding out the news that he has a hamstring injury and then training camp. So, I mean, the Townie pick was an obvious pick because they probably knew that Golladay was a question mark, but it was a free agent move that they had to make. They had to make a splash somewhere. So, unfortunately, I got them at 5-12.
Wait, is it Tony or is it Toonie? I thought it was Kadarius Toonie.
It's Tony.
I know. I watched a lot of Florida games.
Joe Toonie. I thought it was Kadarius Tony. I mean, I could be wrong. I'll ask Scary and see what she said.
But I will say this. KK, when you compared him to Percy Harvin, I never put the two and two together. But man, Tony, whatever his name is, he did wear the number one in Florida, and his yards after catch, because it wasn't just when he caught the ball. It was what he did with it afterwards. Totally what Percy Harvin did.
That's what Percy Harvin. I mean, and we're seeing. I mean, I don't want to and I know we didn't even talk about it last week because I didn't want to rain on this parade, but Tebow, I think, was a huge product of having a Percy Harvin on that team. Yeah. I don't think Percy Harvin got enough credit that they actually deserved, because Tebow had a lot of fast weapons. Jeff Demps, Chris Rainey, Percy Harvin. I mean, it was like he had a track team, literally a track team. I played against Jeff Demps in high school. Okay, I actually know this firsthand. I played against him. I seen him run on the field on the field in person. Okay,
and don't forget Chris Rainey.
Jeff Demps is fast, and Chris was fast, and Percy Harvin they raced in a parking lot, and Percy Harvin beat both track star Jeff Demps and Chris Rainey. Okay, Percy Harvin was that
Florida team were killers.
Huh? Yeah. Well,
hey, and that's why I'm worried about Mac Jones there. Okay, because when you have a wide receiver who's a goddamn Heisman Trophy winner that you're throwing to every week, and then you get drafted in the first round, you're suspect. I am not a Mac Jones fan. We'll talk about that. We'll get
to them. Go ahead, A-Rock.
Don't jump the gun just yet. Jesus, man, you're like hijacking the show over here, jumping in.
I love it. I love the energy.
Yeah, I'm slowly fizzling out of this show. I learned the last two episodes, so take my spot.
I'm sorry, A-Rock.
You're good. I kind of agree with Sami on it. I'm not on the Daniel Jones train, but I don't like him either. I don't think he's the fit for the offense, but also missing Saquon Barkley is a big hole that you're featured back, that everything was tailored to. Like they had outdated wide receivers. They had a suspect backup running back and Dion Lewis, who was supposed to be the next guy up and didn't happen. Then Wayne Gallman came out of there like Jesus Christ, like, I'm here to save you guys and at least have somebody have a good fantasy year. From the Giants. And then the defense, it always had plugs. It was like Kevin Durant's hair, basically, just like little pieces look nice, and then there was like patches everywhere. So now you put in those patches. You definitely solidified the offense with more weapons. You got rid of all the old players that were there, the Golden Tates, the Devonta Freemans, the Davlin Tomlinsons, and you got younger. You went and got a guy in a tight end who may scare Ingram a little bit and Kyle Rudolph. He had one.
He's not scaring anybody, trust me.
Hey, I'm just saying, a guy who may do something to make him play a little bit better.
Red zone target and a good blocker.
He's a solid red zone target, actually. Very, very solid red zone target.
But even at that, like that's what we expected out. He's a first round pick, Ingram, and he's just shit in the bed the last 3 years. So this is a guy that could possibly strike fear in him and make him play better and realize, hey, I'm playing for a contract this year. So if I want to stay here and they see potential in me, like I got to do something. But all the other signees are really, really good. A bunch of expatriates. I'm sure Joe Judge had a hard on for all these guys, so bring them in. Why not? But the O-line is still suspect. They're really, really bad. They didn't address it really in the draft. I think they got one in the 4th or 5th. Those are gambles. Those are just like, okay, whatever. Just get the biggest corn-fed white boy that you can get at this point in that end of the draft. And then Daniel Jones, man, like I want to have faith in him, but like you said, North Carolina and Duke are basketball schools, unless, and he did play basketball, you're Julius Peppers. But yeah, Daniel Jones is my X factor here. And if that O-line can hold it up, I know you got Kyle Rudolph for blocking. But other than that, everything else looks good. I'm going to give them a 6-11.
So you gave him 5-12, 6-11. I actually gave him 8 wins. I gave him 8-9.
I 8-8 and 1.
8-1. I like. See, I gave him 8-9. I was gonna give him 8-1. I'm cool with the 8-9.
All right, let's go to the supposed America's team, the Dallas.
Let's go. How about them Cowgirls?
I really wish I could get Stephen A on the show just for the segment. But we finally
waiting to happen.
We finally get a Dak Prescott signing. He's finally getting paid, and I feel like this is going to change the lay of the land a lot there. And looking at a lot of stuff that they did, it all makes sense, and there's some gambles in there, but it all looks pretty good. So the key additions, they finally signed Dak Prescott. He's there for a while now. They went and got safety converted linebacker Keanu Neal. They're taking a gamble on safety Malik Hooker, which I actually like. Key departures, the Red Rocket is gone. Who cares? Offensive tackle Cameron Irving is gone. Aldon Smith, they shipped him out. He got cut. Tyrone Crawford finally said, I ain't going to be here. Sean Lee, like, this motherfucker's been playing since the 90s. Like,
I like Sean Lee.
I like him, but shit, he's been around since the 90s.
He's a nice guy.
Gets hurt in week 3 every season.
Exactly.
Poor guy.
On Sunday Night Football, too.
Yeah. Cornerback Awuzie is gone. Safety Xavier Woods is gone. Now the draft class, pretty interesting. Linebacker Micah Parsons.
Damn.
Cornerback Kelvin Joseph. Offensive tackle Osa, insert Nigerian name if you want to help out with that one, KK.
I'm gonna let you. I'm not gonna take your thunder. I want you to actually try it, because I'll say
that's messed up.
Cuban name, Dominican name all day.
Insert Nigerian name here. I'll give it my best shot. Odiguzwa. I said it with a Latin flair to it.
That's cool.
Odiguzwa.
Cool. Honestly, so that's a name that I actually would struggle with. So I'm not even gonna. I'm not gonna try.
Defensive end Chauncey Golston, cornerback Nashawn Wright, and linebacker Jabril Cox from LSU. Now all those are rounds 1, 2, 3, and the last one I just put in there because it's Jabril Cox from LSU, and he was a pretty solid linebacker. I don't know why he slipped that low, but he was there. Their weakest point was defense and the quarterback, obviously, but the quarterback is paid. They're gone. I'm pretty sure somebody locked Jerry Jones in a closet when he was like, trade up to get Kyle Pitts. They were like, yo, give him his meds. Leave him in there. Like,
they drafted all defensive players, right?
They drafted all defense, one offensive tackle, but everything was defense. Like the first,
that's what they needed.
And that's what they needed. And I'm not mad at that at all. They got really young on defense. They got a lot of players that fit the mold. They go and get a Jabril Cox, who's a hard hitter from LSU, and Micah Parsons was supposedly supposed to be the top 5 guy in the draft. So
he was, man. He is
the best defensive player in the draft. Probably.
Absolutely.
Let me turn it over to you guys. Is Dak Prescott gonna help, and this new look defense gonna help take the Cowboys to the next level? Is Zeke going to have his head on straight now that his best friend's there? And is McCarthy going to, rectify the ship, or is he just on his way out really quick?
I'll take it away because out of all sports in the United States of America, in the planet Earth, in the Milky Way galaxy, there's one team that I hate the most, and it's the Dallas Cowboys. So as much as I hate them, I bet
you get ESPN notifications when the Dallas Cowboys do anything.
Every single thing. Oh, he tied his shoe properly. Oh my God. Okay, so I'm tired of the Cowboys, America's team. I don't really get it. And I'm on record saying this. If anybody should be America's team, how is it not the New England Patriots? The Patriots what were the first 13 colonies? Was Dallas in the first 13 colonies?
I know we're getting history lessons today. I love it. Let's go.
And it's the Patriot. What are you talking about? Cowboys? Anyway. All right, I'm done. Rain Dakota Prescott. Man. So out of all the Cowboys that's on that football team, he's the one that I actually like out of the 53. So I actually like Rain Dakota Prescott, but he's coming off of a catastrophic injury as well. I mean,
yeah,
more power to him coming back this early. Like, that's something that can put you out for some time. So he's tough. 4th round pick, he's tough. He's a tough kid. I remember when he replaced Tony Romo, I was like, yeah, I wish Tony Romo didn't get hurt, because I feel like this experiment wouldn't have happened and they would have been terrible. But Dak's good. So I'll give Dak his credit. But he has a baseball injury like in his shoulder, and they're trying to figure it out, and they're trying to downplay it. I personally have not watched Hard Knocks. I refuse to watch the Cowboys on Hard Knocks, but what I watch all the reviews where people are saying, and they're trying to downplay this injury, but this is real. Okay, the dude has a shoulder injury coming off of a leg injury, so his confidence is going to be all over the place, because he does not know, if I plant too hard, is my leg going to snap again? If I throw it too deep, is my shoulder going to be out? And they don't have a backup quarterback. Call it like Ben DiNucci and whomever else is over there. They don't have a backup quarterback. They're terrible at backup quarterback. If anybody needs a quarterback, the best quarterback in the NFC East is Dak Prescott, but they have the worst backup situation in my opinion. So they need to figure that out, because if they don't, all these cuts that are about to happen this week and next week, they need to go find them a backup quarterback or spend some draft capital and get them another backup quarterback, because he's fragile right now. He's precious cargo that they need to make sure they take care of. Now, the good thing is that they have an amazing offensive line, and they have Ezekiel Elliott. So they shouldn't have to rely on Dak having to throw the ball 50 times a game. The problem is that their defense is so bad that they fall behind. And if they fall behind, Dak has to throw 50 times a game. And that is not a formula for them to be successful. That's why he has a lot of empty calories as stats. So I'm very concerned about his shoulder. And obviously his leg is healed, but how healed is it? Now, everything else offensively, they're the top 5 offense in the league, in my opinion. They have amazing receivers. Their offensive lines are great, and they have Ezekiel Elliott. So to me, they have no holes from an offense.
Pollard's a great number 2.
What was that?
Tony Pollard's a great number 2.
Look, Jerry Jones wants Pollard to get like 50% of the snaps. So there's a reason for that. Pollard is solid. So they have no holes offensively except for backup quarterback. So at least their hole is not starting quarterback like the Washington football team and the Giants, but their hole is backup quarterback, which is a big hole because we got a guy coming off of a major injury and has an injury that they can't figure out yet. So, they're going to be good offensively. Offensive line is going to be great. They're going to block well. Zeke will have another 1,000-yard season. It's going to be amazing. Now, defensively, their corners suck. I'm not even trying to be mean. Their corners are terrible. But they have good linebackers. Michael Parsons is, he's obviously a rookie, but he's going to have a great season. Van Der Esch is amazing. He's got to stay healthy. And then I'm curious what's going on with the whole Jalen Smith situation, because apparently there's like a contract issue and they're considering maybe cutting him, which would be weird, or trading him. So Jalen Smith is a good football player, so I don't know why that's such an issue over there. I think because they drafted Michael Parsons and then they converted Keanu Neal to linebacker. It's like, okay, we don't really need you anymore because we don't want to pay you that much because all their money is tied up in Dak, Amari Cooper, Zeke. Like all their money is tied up in their offensive line. All their money is tied up in their offensive line. So offensively, they have veterans that are going to be great. Defensively, they have a lot of youth and a lot of question marks across the board. They got the coach from Atlanta from last year that was with the Legion of Boom. His name's not coming to my head. You guys probably, what's his name? The coach, who was Atlanta's head coach last year? Legion of Boom defensive coordinator.
Dan Snyder. No. What's his name? Dan Quinn. So they brought him in to be the savior for the defense. He didn't change any life in Atlanta, so I don't know what they think is going to happen in with Dallas. And then Mike McCarthy, God, the most boring coach ever. He's not going to inspire anybody. So there's going to be. I'm just going to start off right now with the record. Listen, I'm between 8-9 and 9-8. I can't go any better than that. Okay.
I cannot. So another 500 quote unquote season for the Cowboys, in my opinion.
I'll let Sami go first this time.
I thought what was interesting, like A-Rod said, that the Cowboys switched their whole game plan and loaded up on defense because obviously, I mean, there's too many offensive weapons, so why would you just keep adding to that? But they probably did give Jerry Jones his meds and tell him go sit in the corner.
Put him in the closet.
Yeah. But yeah, this team, I think the biggest question mark is not a lack of talent because this team now is just flush with talent. Even on defense, if you look at exactly what A-Rod was talking about, the draft picks that they got. I think you forgot to mention Terrell Basham at cornerback, as well as Kyron Brown that they added at cornerback. So they added depth pieces. I'm not saying those are guys that are going to
they getting burnt by
go crazy
Devontae Smith.
But they're depth pieces that they knew. Yeah.
Oh,
they're depth pieces regardless. And if you look at what their thing is health. And that's what's going to be the biggest deciding factor with this team is Dak. Can Dak stay healthy? Can Zeke stay healthy? Can the offensive line stay healthy? And can the major defensive players stay healthy? Because that's always been their biggest problem. And if you look at this team in 2016 was 13-3. Since then, they've barely had a winning record. And in the winning years that they did have winning records since 2016, Ezekiel Elliott attempted at least 20 rushes per game. Last year, he only attempted 16. So I don't know what changed, if he was hurt or they just gave up on the season.
Their defense, because they fall behind early and they got to sling the rock.
It doesn't matter. It's still Zeke. You got to give him the rock, right? Yeah. Like, I don't care if you're behind.
He's slowing down. I mean, he's slowing down a little bit. He got paid. He got paid. So.
Right.
Cheeseburgers look good all the time at dinner.
Yeah. So, I mean, with last season, this team was 6-10. They had inconsistent QB play and a very, very suspect defense. You can look at this year as the defense is slightly upgraded. Dak is hopefully back. I would like to see it just because I do like CeeDee Lamb. Amari Cooper is probably one of my favorite players in the NFL, even though I hate the Cowboys.
Roll.
If that team stays healthy, they have the 31st strength of schedule going into the season. That could always change. But if you're starting at 31st, even if some of your teams get a little better, you're only going up to about 20th, maybe.
You know who has 32nd?
Who?
The Eagles. And
the Eagles at 32nd.
Doesn't mean anything.
But the over/under right now is 9. I'm taking the over here. I'm putting faith that Dak will be able to finish the season, and I think they'll go 11-6.
Ooh, okay. Which I do see, but I'm not confident in myself. So
I get it. I'm not either, just because of Dak.
Yeah.
I'm just going to be brief. This is easily my division winner here. I think the Cowboys come back in force this year. Last year they were total offensive. Their total offensive ranking was 14th. In defense, they were 23rd. Actually, their passing was the 8th best passing offense in the league, even with the inconsistent quarterback play. But their rushing was 17th. And a lot of that is due to their offensive line being injured. Tyron Smith, Zach Martin, La'el Collins, they all come back this year. So I'd like a huge uptick for the Dallas Cowboys this year. I have them at 12-5. Winning the division easily, by the way.
All right.
So I'll take it away now really quick. Yeah, the biggest thing, there was a lot of inconsistency with the team last year, and you got to see like Dak kind of, or not Dak, Zeke kind of fizzle out of the offense a little bit, which was a little bit strange. They kind of went to like a dual back role and then would sit Zeke sometimes, and you could see frustration. Homeboy McCarthy just is a really boring coach. Bringing in Quinn, I mean, he had his run in the Legion of Boom, but he really is pretty boring too. He doesn't turn any heads or say, wow. It's like hiring Mike Smith, basically. You basically hired Mike Smith is what
pretty much.
Yeah. So I do like them getting younger on defense. But the thing about the Cowboys is they always breed a really good cornerback and they just don't keep him. And they just draft another one and he'll get really, really good. And then they'll get rid of him too. And I think the smart thing for them to do is you got Keanu Neal, motherfucker's a safety. Just say, hey man, you're going back to playing like a Jamal Adams role where you're going to be a rushing safety, and we're going to put you right there, and you can play like a hybrid role. But you put him there, and then you obviously have like the 3, possibly 4 best linebacking core right there in football. When you have Van Der Esch, if he can ever stay healthy, he's got that stupid thing that the players had in the 90s. Yeah, he's got that. You got make Jalen Smith pay that guy. That guy's a really good football player.
Really good.
And he came back from a serious injury that he should have been a top 3 pick, and he slipped to the 2nd or 3rd round or wherever he went. And then you just got Micah Parsons, who's just like gonna wreak havoc. But I think the big thing now is all focused once again on the quarterback and having a vocal person like a Dak. Dak was the guy who brought the locker room together, in my opinion. It's definitely not Zeke. Zeke loves to pull out a titty or two during St. Patrick's Day parade, loves to do some wild shit. But Dak is definitely the calm voice that can tame the Zeke, that can get these guys playing right. And I like the way the Cowboys look. They could have got some better pieces on defense, in my opinion. But, I mean, it's a gamble to see what you're going to do with these players. So I think the ceiling for me, and I can't go any more than this, is going to be 10 wins. I put them at 10-7. They're not going to get past 10 wins.
The ceiling is the roof, or whatever Michael Jordan said. I said between 9 or 8. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They're going to be 9 wins, so they'll be 9 and 8, which 10 wins is very possible. Okay, but I'm concerned. I'm concerned about the total.
But this is the return of, honestly, one of top 5, top 7 quarterback in the league. I mean, that's going to make a huge impact on this team. If he comes back healthy. But I for the purposes of this podcast, I'm assuming that he's coming back 100% healthy. And I'm saying that this team, I'm with Sami here, is going to overperform their over-under easily. And I would even lock that in. That's a lock for me, Sami.
Oh,
and also
if he's healthy, that's a big if. He's 100% healthy, easily a 12-5 team. Okay, I'm just not convinced that he's healthy yet. So, and they got a tough start to the schedule. I'm not 100% convinced just yet. So, because think about it, they fall behind against the Bucks, and he starts chucking it again in the second half, and then the shoulder goes out.
Right,
he gets hurt. That's what I'm concerned about. So, 12 is there, 11 is there. I'm just going off of what's going on right this second on this date at this time. I'm at 9 and 8.
And shout out to Randy Gregory for still being on an NFL team, and that being the Cowboys and getting an NFL contract.
Cowboys will take a chance on anybody. I mean, look at Greg Hardy.
Shit.
And his ass beat a couple of weeks ago in UFC.
Yeah. But Randy Gregory, it's like he's like on like I feel like Jerry Jones goes in these rooms and he's like, all right, boy, I'm gonna cut you if you don't act right. If you don't act right, I'm gonna cut you. And he still doesn't act right. And he's still on the fucking team, man. But he's just that good. But
have you ever watched The Longest Yard? That's the Cowboys. They'll take anybody.
All right, let's go to KK's team. We've been waiting for this moment, man. Start playing the Phil Collins in the background right now.
On the road.
The different song. Okay.
We have QB1 finally, supposedly, even though he got sick last week and couldn't play. He got a stomach bug.
He has stomach issues. Okay.
Yeah. All right, so we got QB1. Jalen Hurts is now taking over the face of the Eagles on the starting quarterback position. And there's a whole lot of weird moves going on here. So we'll go down. QB added Joe Flacco. You're welcome. Running back Kerryon Johnson.
He got cut. Kerryon Johnson got cut.
I know, I'm getting there. Injured reserve, but he's still on the active roster, or still like on injured reserve but retained.
We don't need him.
Defensive end Ryan Kerrigan. He's old as shit. Cornerback Steven Nelson. Safety Andrew Adams, and other safety Anthony Harris, which I do like. Key departures. You got rid of Carson Wentz. KK's all-time favorite quarterback, Nate Sudfeld, is finally gone. Running back Corey Clement is gone. Wide receiver Alshon Jeffrey. Wide receiver Deshaun Jackson's second stint is done. Vinny Curry's second stint is done. Defensive lineman Malik Jackson. Quarterback Nickel Roby Coleman, and safety Jalen Mills is now a Patriot.
Yay!
And now draft picks. Devontae Smith.
Devontae Smith, baby.
Center, starting center Landon Dickerson. Roll Tide.
Roll Tide, baby.
and defensive tackle Milton Williams are the most eye-popping ones for me in that draft.
Louisiana Tech.
So it's definitely going to be a rebuild season, as we can see.
Whoa, slowly roll.
Hey, come on, let's be real.
Slowly roll.
Right? So it's a rebuild for the team. A lot of household names that were on this team in Super Bowl players are now cut off the roster. The Alshon Jeffrey contract is shredded. The second stint of Deshaun Jackson is done. Vinny Curry was always a fan favorite. He's gone now.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's some exciting things there. You got Jalen Hurts and Devontae Smith linking up again, which is nice to see. So KK, this is your team.
All right, man. I'm gonna break it down. All right. First and foremost, Mr. Jalen Hurts QB1. I was a little concerned, like, why are we wasting the second round pick? Blase. Howie Roseman said, or was it Jeff Lurie? One of those two. It was either Jeff Lurie or Howie Roseman. They said, we passed on Russell Wilson 10 years ago, and we didn't want to pass on another Russell Wilson again. They see him like they see Russell Wilson, okay? And what I hear about Jalen Hurts is what they were saying about Dak Prescott like 4 or 5 years ago when Tony Romo was breaking his collarbone and his back and stuff. So, and I know these rumors about Deshaun Watson and has been flaring up for the last 8 months now, and part of it sounds amazing. Well, the other part's like, stay away from that. So I love Jalen Hurts. Like the way, like the locker room respects, like loves him. Like I've never seen I've had Donovan McNabb, I've had Michael Vick, I've had Kevin Cobb, I've had Nick Foles, I've had all these people in the last 20 years, and nobody has been rallied around like they rally around Jalen Hurts. I mean, even more than Super Bowl winning, statue winning quarterback Nick Foles.
Look what he did at Bama. Like, that's mad respect. I feel like those players saw that. He took that back seat and they're like,
yeah. I put a post up, like it was like 2-3 years ago. And I actually put the post up when he came back to that game and won them the what was it, the SEC championship? It was the against Georgia, right?
No, he didn't win shit. Tua won it.
No, the one that they took Tua out and they put Jalen Hurts in. This is right before he went to Oklahoma.
Oh, when he got hurt, when Tua got hurt.
Tua got hurt. Yeah, and then Jalen came in and did his thing. It was the SEC championship game. And I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. So, and I've been a huge fan of Jalen Hurts for a few years. So
same.
I am 100% bought into QB1. He's a proven leader. The quarterback room loves him. The wide receivers love him. The running backs love him. His offensive tackle is going to block the hell out of for him. So I am not concerned about him anymore. I think he can have himself like a rookie season that Dak Prescott, well, not a rookie, he's a second year, but like how Dak Prescott came out his rookie year. I feel like this is kind of like a rookie year for him because like he only played 4 games last year. So
right.
I think with the experience that he has, he got his boy back from Roll Tide, Mr. Devontae Smith. I think this is a very, very good situation for him. Another thing offensively, I know we got Devontae Smith. I'm happy about that, obviously. Now, Quez Watkins has been somebody that, I'm plugged into all these Eagles beat writers and all this stuff. I watch the YouTubes, and so I watch film like on the Eagles. Quez Watkins is the dude that they've been talking about for the whole camp. He's electric. He could take, like, against his who did we play the other week? The Steelers a couple weeks ago. He took a 7-yard pass from Joe Flacco, took in like 80 yards, easy touchdown. He reached the top speed that week as far as all the players' top speed. You know how they go like 24.3 miles per hour, whatever. He hit the top speed. Quez has been amazing. So Quez Watkins is going to be great. And then Jalen Reagor. Now, obviously, I was very hard on him last year because for obvious reason, you know, Justin Jefferson was right there. And the year before that, we drafted.
I see your Instagram stories, dog. I know you. I know you got an eye on him, like a magnifying.
I'm watching him. I'm watching Jalen. Okay, Jalen. He looks different this year compared to last year. I think last year, that Philly fan base is brutal, and I think he let a lot of that get to his head. But his dad is a former Eagle, and I think his dad probably got to him this summer. Like, look, bro, you need to calm the hell down and just embrace it. And he's been making some big plays. A lot of the beat writers again have said like his stock has gone up a lot this offseason and the preseason as well. He had this little one-handed catch on New England in practice last week. So the jury is still out for me, but I feel like Jalen is like, okay, obviously he was rated as a first round or early second round talent for a reason. So let's see this thing play out. He's going to be a great punt returner for us. Basically what we had in Deshaun Jackson 10 years ago is what we want from him. So we got our Devontae, we got our Jalen Reagor, and then Quez has been great. We got Travis Fulgham, who's kind of on the bubble, and Greg Ward Jr. is kind of on the bubble. Now, the other guys, our running game, we have Miles Sanders, we have Jordan Howard. We apparently had Kerryon Johnson, but he's obviously hurt. And
Boston still there?
Who?
Boston Scott.
And then Boston Scott. We love Boston Scott, and Boston Scott is having another great camp. And then we drafted Kenneth Gainwell out of Memphis, who is having an amazing preseason and an amazing camp, and we're big on him. So we have 4 or 5 solid. We have Evander Holyfield's son from Georgia. We have really? So we got some guys in the running back room, and then worst comes to worst, we got Joe Flacco as a backup now. So I think we're actually going to be fine offensively. My big issue that I have with the Eagles, I've had for a while, is our secondary.
Yep.
Our secondary is atrocious. We paid Darius Slay a lot of money, and a lot of these guys, they get paid. I remember when we got Nnamdi Asomugha like 10 years, like literally, I went on my Facebook today in my memories, and it was 10 years ago that we got. It wasn't today. It was earlier this year, but it came up as a memory for whatever reason. Is when we got Nnamdi Asomugha, and I thought, oh my God, we're gonna win a Super Bowl. And then he came to Philly, and he was terrible. It was the worst. I mean, everyone was talking about Dream Team, Vince Young, and all that bullshit.
I remember that.
And we shot the bed. It was over, right? So fast forward, we got.
Wasn't it because he wasn't really a good man coverage corner? He's
a zone. He's a zone defender. He cannot play man coverage, and at that time we were a man coverage team, and So Darius Slay, he's looking better this year. I think he's a little bit more locked in now. I don't think anyone liked Carson Wentz. I think Carson Wentz was really a cancer in the locker room for us, just kind of how he approached everything. So I think we're going to rally around Jalen Hurts, but the defense needs to be better in the secondary. Our front is going to be our front. I mean, they're getting older, but Fletcher Cox is still one of those guys. Brandon Graham, one of our Super Bowl heroes, Derek Barnett. We picked up the grave digger from Pittsburgh. And then word on the street is that we're interested in Michael Thomas. So maybe in 8 weeks he might be available. I don't know, but I was very low on us like 6 months ago, but I'm actually coming back to form. I'm just gonna give the record now. Biasly, I'm at 8 and 9, but my bias is very, very, very super lean to one way. But I think we can have a little Dak Prescott kind of year, and Jalen Hurts is gonna come out there and sling it. But I'll say between 7 and 8 wins, I'm not going to count us out, because another big thing that people don't realize is that our whole offensive line did not play last year, and we have when we won the Super Bowl, we had the number 1 offensive line in the league, or number 2 behind the Cowboys. So Lane Johnson, the best at his position, PFF has scored him. He is the best at his position. Jason Kelce is one of the best centers in the league. And then Brandon Brooks missed all of last year when he tore his I think it was ACL in training camp. Brandon Brooks was the top-rated guard last year. So our whole right side from center to right, from Lane Johnson, Jason Kelce, and Brandon Brooks were solid. On the left side, we drafted Landon Dickerson. We'll see. We got Maliata, who's a big question. And then Andre Dillard, he's had a horrible camp, so I'm not too big on him. But, as long as our offensive line is healthy this year, 7 or 8 wins should not be a problem, in my opinion, honest opinion.
God damn, you broke that shit down.
I did. I watched film. I have a lot more to say, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
No, I love it. Listen, okay, so there's probably nobody here on this podcast that has watched more Alabama games than I have. Sammy knows.
Whoa, are you sure?
100%.
I listen. I told A-Rod last week. My team that's not the Wolverines is roll. I'm roll tide till I die.
Now, my wife is like the biggest Alabama fan you've ever met, and my mother-in-law is even worse. She's they're both like incredible. She was watching like Alabama versus like freaking like Ball State game one day.
So probably like 10 years ago when I went to Vic's apartment on like a Saturday, and I wanted to go do something for like dinner before we went out or whatever, and he's like, "Sorry, bro, I can't. I'm watching Alabama with Ashley," and I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, listen, Vic, I'm not gonna lie, okay? Ever since Nick Saban has got to Alabama, I've probably missed only 2 road Alabama games. I'm being very honest.
No, same here. I don't think I've ever missed. I wouldn't be surprised if I've never missed an Alabama game.
Yeah,
maybe one, maybe 2. I don't know.
I wouldn't watch him against the Citadel. I wouldn't watch that.
No, we watch that shit, and you know what? Alabama softball and shit. Okay, so start up to this house. All right. No, but seriously, so you guys got the best wide receiver in the draft.
Yes.
Jamar Chase can suck a fat one. Yeah. Devontae Smith was by far the best wide receiver in the draft, hands down. That man used to put skates on people, guys. And Jalen Waddle's great too. He's just as amazing.
Roll Tide.
Incredible.
Yeah.
What he did these past few years, and then Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. From what I saw at Bama, and I'm sure what you saw at Bama.
Yeah.
I don't know when they replaced him with Tua in the national championship game. I was pissed. I was like, dude, what are you doing? Jalen Hurts, man.
They needed to do it. They needed a spark plug and something. Yeah.
But it worked out. It worked out.
Yeah.
But you know what? I think Jalen Hurts is going to have a better pro career than Tua Tagovailoa.
The Tua guy.
The Tua. So, in my opinion, this season, I said this to Sammy. I quit doing that. All right. I said this to Sammy yesterday. The Eagles will go as far as Jalen Hurts will take them.
Yeah.
And it's really a tale of two sides of the coin here. So either Jalen Hurts has a great year and he takes them to an NFC East division title, and they win 11, 12 games, or Jalen Hurts is just okay, and like you said, they go 8-9, 7-10.
Yeah.
My pick is somewhere in between them. In between there, I'm gonna go 9-8 for the Eagles.
Listen, I thought the same way, but I didn't want to come across as like super biased and super home teamer, because I'm like, look. People are saying that we have the worst roster in the NFL. And I'm like, look, I watch these guys. They're not that bad.
No, the offense is good. The offense is there. It's the defense. It's the defense. If you look at last year, their passing offense is 28th. Yeah. That's horrendous. Yeah. But that's only 4 games with Jalen. And honestly, their wide receiver core was shit last year. They definitely upgraded there. They had the 9th best rushing attack last year, guys. Yep. With, as you mentioned, KK, an injured offensive line that they're getting back their guys.
Yep.
So that rushing attack, I expect to be even better this year. And even if that passing goes into the 15th total passing offense in the league, this is a dangerous team. So, as I said before, this team will go as far as Jalen Hurts will take it.
Yep.
9-8. I'm just going to lock it in right now.
That puts a smile on my face.
Sammy, I'll let you take it away. Tell me why I'm stupid.
No, you're good. I'm with you. I was actually just all I wanted really to add to that was Jalen Hurts finally under center for the full season after only getting 4 games last year. And I wanted to add to your thing about Jalen Hurts. I think it says something about a player when they're successful in two conferences in college football.
Yep.
And he was. And he was able to do it in the SEC. I mean, fairly well, not great, but fairly well. And he did well in the Big 12. So, I mean, that just goes to show you, like Vic said, he's probably going to have a much better pro career than maybe Tua will. But, you know, obviously that's still to be seen. And for you, KK, I think this is like one of those seasons for you. Like, I guess maybe kind of like, I mean, actually last year sucked for the Patriots, but it's one of those like bridge years for you. Like you got nothing to lose, man. Like there's nothing to lose with this season. You have so much great core there to build around that it's just, it's only up from here. So even if you do, like I said, I think they're over under right now 6.5. They have the 32nd strength of schedule, like you had mentioned earlier. Dude, I think 8 and 9. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm 8 and 9.
And not to mention, we have 3. Well, if Carson plays, we have 3 first-round picks next year. Just saying. If Carson Wentz plays, I think 85% of his snaps. So hopefully, Quentin Nelson keeps him healthy. But
he's on track to play week 1. So
I'm loving it.
I'm praying he does just for you.
I'm loving it.
Yeah. So before, when we started this podcast, KK didn't even know his quarterback's name. Now he seems to know it very, very well. So
yeah, this is funny. I always forgot Jalen Hurts' name. I'm like, what's his name again? Because last year was just a painful football season.
Yeah.
I was super fair weather at this point last year.
just like Sami said, what do you have to lose, man? There's a big black cloud that's finally been cleared up in the locker room in the Carson Wentz saga. They just drug that out way too long, and finally, you know, it took an off season to get it done, but they sent him away. And you got rid of all the old stuff that's been there, the big contracts, the Alshon Jeffrey contract, it's gone. You replace it with a Devonta Smith who's marketable, who's the best player and best wide receiver in the draft. Landon Dickerson is really good too, man. Add that to the O-line now. I like all the moves they made. I don't think they're gonna be top in the division, but doesn't mean they won't be there next year. I think they're gonna be appealing again. They're gonna have a down year, but Jalen Hurts is the guy for the team. Very successful in college for 2 programs. And the small sample size we got to see last year, he was pretty successful there as well. So, and there's not that much tape. There's very, very small tape on him. So just like you said, this could be his Dak coming out party, and he could just run away and shock the world. And I'm hoping he does it because I'm a big Jalen Hurts fan too. I watch a lot of Bama too. My friend from high school went to school there, won a national championship. So I watch a lot of Bama since that as well. And he's been like one of the only quarterbacks besides like AJ McCarron, who was pretty boring there, that stuck out to me a lot. So I think he's the right guy for the ship. I got no complaints there. And I'm gonna put him at 7 wins. That's what I'm gonna put him at. But it's the division is up for grabs.
Yeah,
it's
like the NFC least. It's like
everybody's going in there bare knuckles. Somebody's got like a shank. Everyone's gonna be fighting tooth and nail in there to take somebody down. So it's always like at each other's throats in that division. All right, boys, ready for AFC East breakdown now. Let's
breeze through this. I want to get to the Patriots and the Jets. So let's breeze to the Buffalo Bills and Dolphins.
Buffalo Bills turned some heads last year. They made it all the way to the AFC Championship, and Benny the Butcher and them couldn't get it done for them. Sorry, boys. But they had a pretty solid roster. Key additions. They went and got a backup in Mitchell Trubisky. Just put it on there for whatever. Running back Matt Breida, wide receiver Emmanuel Sanders, offensive guard Forrest Lamp, and linebacker Matt Milano. Key departures, TJ Yeldon, a Bama boy, wide receiver John Brown, wide receiver Andre Roberts, tight end Tyler Kroft, who's having an amazing camp with the Jets, defensive end Trent Murphy, defensive lineman Quentin Jefferson, and Mr. Recipient of the Dreadnought stiff arm and no job on the market cornerback Josh Norman. Draft picks, pretty good draft picks. Defensive end Greg Rousseau, defensive end Boogie Basham, and offensive tackle Spencer Brown. So, the Bills are the real deal. I can't poo-poo on the Bills anymore. And all they needed was like another solid number 2, and they went and got Emmanuel Sanders now. So now you've got Big Sanders, and then that white boy in the slot who got COVID, who's got to stay away for a little bit. So Josh Allen got paid. Hopefully the money doesn't go to his head. I don't think it will. No. The one place I think they can definitely do better is the running game. I don't think Matt Breida is that, but I feel like they pretty much kept the entire team together. They just got rid of some pieces. The only one that really sticks out to me is John Brown and maybe Josh Norman. I think Josh Norman, his career is like done, but John Brown was a pretty solid plug-and-play wide receiver for them. But
which Emmanuel Sanders fills that void very well. I'm a big John Brown fan, but definitely Emmanuel Sanders fills that void very well.
Yeah, you got the C grade, and now you got the B- grade.
Yeah. No, don't sleep on John Brown. But anyway, I think the one situation we do have to monitor with the Bills, because I think overall the team is good, is the Cole Beasley situation and Gabe Davis, because they have to keep missing games or practice or time for COVID protocols. That could be an issue for them as far as who am I going to spread the ball to if it's not Stephon Diggs. And it's just Stephon Diggs and old Emmanuel Sanders, and that's it. And I think Gabe Davis is unfortunately, he went to the University of Central Florida, but he could be a very, very good receiver for them as well. So as long if they can keep that Cole Beasley, Gabe Davis situation in check, and Emmanuel Sanders is just, he plays every game at least. And then, Josh, their offensive line is not terrible, but it's not amazing, but it's not terrible either. But Josh Allen's going to be able to use his legs and get out of trouble. The defense is great. Tremaine Edmonds, Tre'Davious White. I like the Gregory Rousseau pick. So, they're going to create pressure with whatever they're able to generate pressure with. And then McDermott is an amazing coach. So, I got him at 11-6. 11-6.
Want me to go, Vic?
Yeah.
Yeah, like you said, I don't know much more to add to this. It's a good team, right?
Yeah.
Adding Emmanuel Sanders is just, God, like the rich getting richer, right? This is a guy that just doesn't drop the ball, and just a solid, steady. Solid. You have to be a number one, so there's still injury risk there, but probably not as much if he would try to be on another team as a number one. Now he's like a number two, number three guy.
Yeah.
So I think he's just that's just a blanket for Josh Allen. So again, they're top 5 in most passing categories. They're probably going to be in the same spot again. I was nitpicking when I was taking things out of them. Their rushing defense is not very good. They're very good at putting pressure, and they're very good at intercepting the ball.
Yeah.
But you can easily run the ball on them. They were probably below average. I think they were like in the bottom 10 in the league in rushing yards allowed. That was just, like I said, that's
what you could do. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they allowed 21 rushing touchdowns last year, and that's 6th most. And I think that was actually tied for like 3rd most. So that's another interesting there, that they can't really stop the run. And we're going to get to that when we get with the Patriots.
I was on the same page as you, actually. Good job.
The over-under right now for Vegas is 10.5. I'm going to pull a Vic, and I'm slamming the over there. I got like 12, 13 wins. I got them at 13-4.
13? Ooh.
And they have the 23rd strength of schedule.
Yep.
That's the season. Yeah. So that's very helpful.
What you got, Vic?
So this is going to be tough for me because Sami was able to remain unbiased. And I'll just be honest, I hate the Bills. Like, I hate this. With all my passion. I hate the fans. I hate the stadium.
As you guys can tell, I'm the one that has to be impartial on our podcast, and it crushes me.
You hate the tables.
The tables suck. The city sucks. The wings suck.
It's cold.
Sucks. It's cold as hell.
What you coming?
Niagara Falls sucks. So I just want to say, like, Buffalo, you suck. And your team sucks. But let's be all right. So completely impartial here. So like we said, the Bills won their division last year, which is, no surprise there. The division was shit. This year they have some actual competition with the Patriots and the Dolphins. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't think Josh Allen is all that. Honestly, I think he's a good quarterback. I don't think he's great. Okay.
I'm ready for this conversation on another episode.
For real though, like you guys think he's a great quarterback? Like you think he's a top 5 quarterback?
Vic, I don't want to say anything that's a hot take, but I kind of lean towards your way, but not that far. But I do lean a little bit more that way. But I'm gonna just leave it this.
No, let me be honest.
Alone.
I don't think he sucks. I don't think he sucks either. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's great. I don't think he's a top 5 quarterback in the league, and I don't see them being able to go 13-3 like they did last season. Honestly, I see them coming back down to earth, and I see them at 11-6.
That's what I had them at. Exactly.
Yep.
Yeah. So I'm not giving any hot takes either, but I kind of see Josh Allen that way a little bit too. I think he's a spurt kind of guy. I think he gets.
No, he's the one with the hot take. If we all agree, then that means Sami's the one that's on hot take guy.
Also, I'm like you. I really like people when they're like, I'm like, what part of New York are you from? They're like, oh, I'm from Buffalo. I'm like, oh, so you're from Canada? That's nice.
I agree with that 100%.
Yeah, that's like people when they say they're from Florida and then say they're from Tallahassee.
No, not Tallahassee, Pensacola.
Yeah, you're from Georgia. That's nice to know.
If you're from Pensacola, you're from Alabama.
anything past Orlando becomes Georgia. Anyways, the Bills. I think they got on a hot spree. And they knew like the Patriots were down and they were going to run with it. So
exactly
when you see the king has fallen, you're going to run and get that crown really quick. So now Bill Belichick, and we'll get there. He's just sitting there quietly like, I'm not going to draft a quarterback in the first round. Never done that. And shocks the world. So Bill pulled the right strings and did the right things. And we'll get to that. But now they've got some competition because the division, minus these fuck ups back here, have really upgraded everywhere and look appealing. So the AFC East is finally becoming very tight again, and a lot of competition coming out of there. And nobody wants to see the Bills do good. Not even the NFL, like the rest of the NFL. Like they're boring. Like there's nothing fun about.
I wouldn't agree with that.
There's nothing fun about
They were in a pretty. Listen, I'm a huge Stephon Diggs fan, and the element that he adds to that offense, that's not a boring team at
electrifying. Other than that, if you took Stephon Diggs out of there, could you be like, "Wow, the Bills are so"?
That's the thing. The electricity that Josh Allen can bring, and then Stephon Diggs is like a perfect marriage to me right now. That's just me though.
It's a good marriage. Don't get me wrong.
It's just Buffalo's Buffalo. That's the problem.
Sometimes a good marriage comes to an end, so you never know. But they're there for a while. I still have them winning the division though. I think they didn't really make any big cuts. They added some better pieces around. They definitely upgraded the offense. The only thing that they need to do, in my opinion, is get a solid running back. Just get a solid running back, because all the guys they got there, they just don't know who's going to be the guy.
Somebody consistent, yeah.
Yeah, Singletary does very well, and then they scare him with Zach Moss, and he shits the bed, and then Zach Moss does bad, and then Singletary is like, you got to get in there and do your job, and he goes in there and does. Now they bring in Matt Breida, who's, I don't know what he's trying to play for. Just probably a contract, if anything. But
there's a theme in Buffalo, though, that they just don't like the run. They can't stop it, and they don't have one. Yeah.
You don't make that part of their offense and defense is kind of suspect. But
Sean McDermott just doesn't like to run. We all know that.
At all.
All right, really quickly before we get to the next team.
12-5 is what I have.
12-5. Okay, really quickly. The reason why I have a little issue with and I don't want to get too deep into it. I'm just gonna just quickly, with Josh Allen is because of Carson Wentz, and I just feel like so I'm gonna leave it at that. I blame Carson Wentz. All right, continue. Next team.
All right, let's go down South Florida. Let's go to the Miami Dolphins. It's a whole new look here once again. Another kind of tandem where we're getting the quarterback and his college wide receiver and teaming them up again. But it's Tua time definitely there. And I really like their head coach, who's also another
Brian Flores
Patriots scumbag. But I like the hiring. He's a great guy. So key additions, they went and got a solid backup in case Tua shits the bed. You get Jacoby Brissett. I really like this pickup in the running game of Malcolm Brown. I think he's a very undervalued running back, and the Rams are pretty.
They're gonna miss him.
Yeah, they're kicking themselves in the nuts right now, being like, "Yo, we fucked up."
Oopsie.
So Malcolm Brown is there. They went and got, in my opinion, way overrated wide receiver Will Fuller, but maybe he'll do well. They finessed this move. Actually, no, they didn't finesse it. They got Isaiah Wilson from the Titans and then cut him because he's a nut job. Matt Skura there. Linebacker Shaquem Griffin with his one hand is there. They traded to get Benardrick McKinney, cornerback Justin Coleman, and cornerback Jason McCourtney. They're just pulling all the Patriots scum over there now. Now, the key departures, Ryan Fitzpatrick easily can go. Matt Breida, whatever. They traded Shaq Lawson, and linebacker Kyle Van Noy is now back with the Patriots.
Back to the Pats, baby.
Exactly. We'll get one Patriot scum and trade another. Now, the draft picks are very interesting. They had 2 first-round picks. They got Jalen Waddle, which I think Devonta Smith is still better, but they got Jalen Waddle.
Second best receiver in the draft.
They stayed at home and got Jalen Phillips from Miami. They went and got safety Javon Holland, offensive tackler Liam Eichenberg.
I like him. He's good.
And tight end Hunter Long, who's a very good tight end, even though he's from, I think, Duke. I think he's from there. But anyways, these are pretty solid draft board all the way across. I had them as being one of the winners in the draft as well. They're definitely younger, but they do have some key veteran presence on the team as well. And a lot of speed on the offense from what we're seeing. So is this the right step Miami's making? Could they make some noise in the AFC East, boys?
I'm a big Brian Flores fan. Out of we talk about the New England Patriot coaching tree, he's one of those guys. Like, all right, he's solid, right? So I love what he's done with that program. I love what he's done with them defensively. I mean, he had the balls to get rid of Minka Fitzpatrick. I mean, God, I mean, he's found a way to keep them well. From a defensive standpoint, Xavier Howard and Byron Jones are both dogs. They're gonna do what they got to do. They converted McCourty to cornerback. I think that's not a bad idea. And then we gave them LeBlanc from Philly, who's not a terrible corner. You would have want him to be your number 1 or number 2. So their corners are gonna be fine. How much pressure they can put on a quarterback, we're gonna see. They obviously address that this draft by getting Jalen Phillips and stuff like that. And then they have Agba as well, who was a big signing, who did really well last week against the Falcons. So defensively, I think they're gonna be good. I think because Brian Flores comes from that Patriot system, they're gonna play defense and run the hell out of football, and then kind of just adapt that kind of identity. And Tua, I like Tua as a human a lot. I love Tua, right? He's a great guy. There's no reason to root against him. He has a little bit more experience in the offense now. I mean, he admitted he didn't know the playbook last year, and that's obviously a big deal. I mean, obviously, I think COVID and everything had a lot to do with that without having a normal offseason. But I think by now he should know the playbook. He has a guy in Jalen Waddle who's going to be. I mean, he's going to be good. He's going to be good. I think that helps out. What's his name? The Devontae Parker a lot. I think it helps him because they don't have to rely too heavily on him anymore. And Gesicki's a good guy. He's a good player. And then Will Fuller, he got to stop taking steroids, but Will Fuller is still a solid receiver. So I think they're going to be good. I mean, I think their offensive line is something to be concerned about, especially with, not the biggest quarterback in the world and a left-handed quarterback. If people don't understand the nuance of having to block for somebody your whole life, basically, that's a right-handed quarterback, and out of nowhere you got to switch to blocking for a left-handed quarterback because it's different. When I was in high school, believe it or not, I played on the offensive line, so I would understand the difference of, it's different having it blocked this way. The ball comes out differently. Everything is just like the left tackle is not as important anymore because the blind side that's not a blind side anymore. So it's like all these things you got to think a little bit differently about when you have that kind of a quarterback. But I think Tua, he ripped up the Falcons last week, but it's not really saying much because the Falcons defense is atrocious, especially in the preseason. I'm pretty sure that was easy. The when they played against the Bears. He threw a bad pick. It was against the Bears in the preseason, but against preseason, I think he forced it and they want him to force it. But I don't think they're going to rely on him too much passing the ball. I think kind of like the Titans, like they're going to run the football. Think about it. The Titans is Mike Vrabel. That's a Patriot disciple. And it's the same thing with Flores. So they're going to run the hell out of the football, play really good defense, and then they got to kill you over the top with some play action, some easy throws for Waddle. And I think Gesicki is going to help him a lot. And again, the Malcolm Brown pickup too, I do like too. So if I'm Vegas, my over under for them is 10.5. And I want to say 11-6, but the offensive line scares me, so I kind of dropped them to 10-7. But I'm around that right now.
I'll let Sami go first since I went first with the Bills.
All right. I guess I should start with a question, or not really a question, but like a statement, but with a question at the end of it. Do any of you trust Will Fuller? Like,
no.
We've only seen Will Fuller play more than 11 games last season.
Part, that's the part.
You know, like and don't get me wrong, I love Will Fuller coming out of college. I really wanted him his first season to be very good, and he was for a little bit before he got obviously, tragically hurt. But I mean, it's just year after year, and I guess adding to my point is, did they really get that much better by adding him as a depth piece? Maybe so. I think more so to A-Rod's point.
At least he's on the roster.
Right. But exactly.
Yeah.
And I think more so to both of your guys' point is Jalen Waddle is obviously going to help secure the load off of Devontae Parker. Mm-hmm. And I think having Malcolm Brown does create more of a two running back system that I think, Flores is probably going to run the ball quite a bit. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's coming in and he's setting up a pretty much a nickel defense. If you think about it, it's going to be a 3-4. Mm-hmm. He went and took Adam Butler from New England. Mm-hmm. So, he's going to play nose tackle. And it's just like, what he's going to do. He's going to add depth pieces in linebacker and cornerback. He's not going to apply a lot of pressure, and he's just going to make you throw the ball, and he's going to pick the ball off of you a lot. And that's what they did last year.
That's why Howard has so many picks.
Right. They had the most interceptions last year, which is crazy for a team, that wasn't even a team that made it to the Super Bowl, was even close.
Yeah.
But they added Coleman, a depth piece, and a pretty decent secondary. And I think to your point, like the offense is going to be the big question mark. Jalen Waddle, I think he's a stud. Obviously, I don't think he's as good as Devonta Smith, but he's going to be a nice wide receiver and help Devontae Parker. And especially because Devontae Parker and Will Fuller always have trouble staying healthy every single week.
They need this rookie a lot.
Right. And I guess the big question mark too is, even though they are going to be a running team, they've got two running backs that have never eclipsed 700 yards in a season. Both of these guys have never been a workhorse. So either they're counting on both of these guys to be 500, 600-yard running backs, or one of them's going to have to take the lead, and I don't trust either of them.
All right, let's look at your guys' teams. Like in the last 6-7 years, have you had any 1,000-yard running backs?
I think Sony Michel was
Sony Michel once. That's it, right?
No, but I think every season we had somebody at least 800 yards.
800. Okay. Well, is that's the thing. They got layered too.
Right. And we also had Tom Brady.
Okay, but you guys are still a running football team.
Yeah.
Not there anymore.
It's just, and
I think Green Ellis had 1,000 yards. I think
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
Ben Jarvis Green Ellis.
The law firm.
I think he's.
No, that was Ronnie, wasn't it? Oh no, it's Ben Jarvis.
You guys. I mean, this my whole point with that is that they don't need to have. I mean, it would be nice to have a dominant, workhorse, but I don't think they're really concerned about having that.
Right.
I think they have it. I think their guy is Gesicki, whatever his name is. Gaskin. That's it.
Miles Gaskin. Yeah.
I think
he could be. Yeah, he should be. But yeah.
Yeah, and I'll be completely honest here. This team is fucking terrible. Sorry, Rod. We might have an explicit rating now, but
that's all you want.
I hate this team, and I hate the city of Miami. There's traffic all the time. People are jerks. It's just not a good time. You're always worried about getting busted for cocaine down there. It's just not a fun time.
Walking around with bricks.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about what I do on my weekends. No, in all seriousness, though, this Miami team is good. It got better. It's one of the other teams in the division that got better. Miami Dolphins, I think, made probably the most progress in terms of. I don't want to keep saying getting better, but I think they made the biggest leap forward in getting better. And there's also rumors about them potentially being a. Don't worry, Sam. I just don't want to come off as a homer. Okay, Sam, don't look at me like that.
To be.
Okay, fine. So this is the second best team in getting better in the division. They look. It pains me to say this, but they look like a good squad this year, and I think they can be formidable. And this goes back to the NFC East discussion that we were having, and this one really does all come down to the quarterback and Tua here, right? So what do we have with Tua? I personally, and this is no bias here, I do not think Tua Tagovailoa will be a good pro quarterback. I just don't think he has the fire and the leadership necessary. I think he's a great guy, like KK said. I think he's a great dude. I think people love to be around him, but I don't think he has that fire that Tom Brady has, or Aaron Rodgers or other quarterbacks have to get under your ass and say, dude, block that guy on the side. Like, what are you doing, man? Get in somebody's face and say, you want to see Tom Brady. He's always talking shit, right?
Always.
And I feel like Tua doesn't have that fire I think he'll be a fine quarterback, but I don't think he's the type of quarterback that's going to be like a superstar in the league. I hope my wife didn't hear me say that because she'll kick my ass. But realistic for me, I have met 8-9 this year, third in the division, 8-9.
They were like 10-6 last year, right?
Yeah, they went 10-6 last year. Yeah,
okay.
They did. And you know what's funny is they went 10-6 last year, and they got better this year.
That's what the
issue is. I think the other teams in the division got better as well.
Right.
And Sammy, what's their strength of schedule this year? I know you have it there somewhere.
27th.
That's weak.
That is weak.
Very weak.
That did not help my point at all. Can we go back and can we erase that? Can we do some podcast magic there?
I'll think about it.
I think looking at this team, they made a lot of necessary additions to the team that needed to happen, and I like the way that they're trending. And I don't think 10 wins is going to happen this year for them. I think they got younger. I think they lost a lot of veteran leadership. Kyle Van Noy, the Ryan Fitzpatrick, which
Davin Gaucha.
Huh? Who?
Davin Gaucha.
Yeah.
One of their leading tacklers last year.
Word.
Sure. Hey, Helen, did you guys know there's a guy named Chumbawamba or Chumbahamba?
Chuba Hubbard.
Yeah.
That's our guy.
But I think there was a step that had to happen for Tua to take the helm. I think there was too much of like, you're starting, you're not starting, you're starting, you're not starting. And Ryan Fitzpatrick is always just like that guy that's steady coasting throughout the games. So like they wanted to steady coast and make the playoffs, and we're okay with sitting Tua. Now that Tua has done his homework, done a couple hakas, and he's ready to go out there and do it, I think Tua is going to be okay. I have faith in Tua. I've always had faith in Tua. The only thing I don't like his wide receivers. I'm not sold on any of these guys. They're all injury prone. Jalen Waddle, we saw him in the national championship. He had a gruesome injury. He even tried to play in the national championship. And I mean, you can applaud that, but dude, like save your strength for the NFL. So hopefully he's healthy. Will Fuller, like we said, he was a first round pick or second round pick, one of the two out of Notre Dame, and had a great first year and then got hurt. And he's just constantly giving you at least 8 games that he can play a season. And then Devontae Parker, don't forget, they gave up Juice Landry. They gave up on Juice to say Devontae Parker is our guy. And it wasn't until last year we finally got to see a really good Devontae Parker. And it was like under the radar. It wasn't like anything like, oh my God, do you see what's going on in Miami with Devontae Parker?
But then did you see the last like 6 games for Juice?
Yeah, exactly.
Very good.
So Juice has the juice. We all know that. And Devontae Parker, I just feel like, I don't know. It's like, yeah, I'm getting a check and I'm big and I can catch the ball, but like, whatever. Like, I don't get any like dominance out of him. Like he's not a dominant wide receiver. So in my opinion, he's a solid 2, maybe a 3. And these guys are all, they could be a 1, a 2, or a 3. Maybe Jalen Waddle could be a 1, but they're all like 2-3 committee right there for me. That's all I see in that.
Nice. I like that.
Agreed.
And like the line, like you went and got the leading tackler in all of football last year in McKinney. So Houston was just like, we're blowing this shit up and we're sending you to Miami. Have fun. That's a good addition right there. You lose Van Noy, who's a tackling machine, and you just get the best tackler in football last year. So no harm there. McCourty, I'm pretty sure him and Flores go out to the bars on the weekends because they're like the same age anyway. So go to Blue Martini or some shit. I like the lay of the land here. I still don't see them in the playoffs just yet. They're missing little pieces here and there. And I'm gonna put them at 8 and 9. I like that for them, but I do see improvement. Could get 10 wins, could get in the playoffs maybe, but I'm gonna put them at 8.
Yeah, I just don't understand how you see improvement. Everyone got them losing more games than they lost last year.
I mean, just for like a roster standpoint, to their point, they did make a lot of, like the whole division made a lot of moves that are really, really good. And they made the second best moves in the division, but it's not better than the Bills roster put on paper. And they found a way to tell Xavier and Howard, like, yo, chill the fuck out. We'll pay you. Stay happy. Brian Flores, you know, you can act a fool here. Brian Flores is here. He don't give a shit. So Xavier and Howard's on board with that. So that's another big win for them there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just don't like their running back situation. And to be fair, I think by week 5 or 6, Jacoby Brissett is going to be the starting quarterback for this team.
No, what?
The over-under is 9 games. I got him at 8 and 9.
I got him at 8 and 9 too. I could see them winning 10 though.
I said 10 and 7, 11 and 6. You know, the offensive line sucks enough for me to say 10 and 7, but 11 wouldn't surprise me because to me they're better than last year and they won 10 games last year. So we'll see. We'll see.
All right, let's go to the exciting season.
Oh Lord, I'm gonna let y'all just take it. I'm gonna just
exciting offseason of Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots. They should write a book on this, man. So Bill's at home in his hoodie that with no sleeves that I'm sure he hasn't washed yet, and he's calling and making deals because his son decided to win the Super Bowl in Tampa Bay, and he's not gonna fucking have that shit. So key additions, holy offseason. You re-signed Cam Newton. You also re-signed Brian Hoyer. I don't know why. You re-signed James White, which is good because you know damn well there was a custody battle between him and Tom Brady going on in the offseason. You went and got Nelson Aguilar. You went and got Kendrick Bourne-Speed. You're employing the tight end system all over again and got Hunter Henry, who's hurt, and Johnny Smith. You traded to get Trent Brown. You signed David Andrews again. You signed Dietrich Wise again. You went and got Matt Judon. You re-signed Raekwon McMillan. Hell, Kyle Van Noy. You want to come run one again? Got Kyle Van Noy. You re-signed Justin Bethel, and then you pried Jalen Mills away from the Eagles. Now, your key departures, in my opinion, ain't no never mind. Who cares? Rex Burkhead is gone. Julian Edelman finally called it quits. He'll probably be a Buck next year. Trade offensive tackle Marcus Cannon. Joe Thuney kind of hurts, but you went and got Trent Brown.
Yeah.
Bo Allen is gone. Jason McCourty is gone. And Patrick Chung, I think it's his second time retiring. So happy second retirement. And then you went out and shocked the world and took a quarterback in the first round when you both of you said it would not happen. I want to remember that. You both said he's not going to take a quarterback. But you took Mac Jones, and I think it's a good move. Obviously, Vic's going to play into that one. You went and got Christian Barmore. Like, come on, man. How much better does it get? And then Ronnie Perkins, too. Like, that's 3 solid draft picks right there. And I'm pretty sure you know the draft picks better than I do. And the hat's already come off. I can
Ramondre. We forgot Ramondre.
I don't know who that is. You know the draft picks better, like I said. So the hat's off. I can see you want to speak.
Take it away.
I think we got to skip KK on this one. This man's at the
Gladly. Take it away.
Go ahead, Sammy. I'll let you lead off.
All right. So I'll just start off by saying I want everybody to remember that this team was 7-9 last year. 7-9 with no offensive help.
Before you continue, Sammy, I already agree with everything you're about to say. I already do. Trust me.
This team was 7-9. They had very little talent offensively, but they proved that they could bang with the best teams defensively. And it was shown in that Kansas City game. I thought that was a huge game, and everybody saw, damn, the New England Patriots defense is actually pretty solid. Yes, we lost that game.
Bills game.
And the Bills game. And the Bills game.
And the Seahawks game.
And there you go. So, I just pointed out the Chiefs game because obviously, the Chiefs, big offense, whatever. So as A-Rod already said, added to that defense that was already pretty solid, revamped the offense tremendously. And I think the biggest takeaway, I'm not going to go into details as like, what they're going to do. But I think the biggest takeaway to take away from this is it for Cam Newton. This is it. This is put up or shut up. Everybody gave him a pass last year because everybody loves Cam Newton. I love Cam Newton. Vic loves Cam Newton. I'm sure all you guys love Cam Newton.
Big Cam Newton,
but
man.
He didn't have any help. And I thought he got a pass last year with COVID, with everything going on. But this year, I personally think if there's a crazy injury or what have you, this is it for Cam Newton. There's no excuses. He has 2 tight end sets now. We all know he was so successful with Greg Olsen. Now he's got Jonnu Smith or Hunter Henry. Pick your poison. Yes, Hunter Henry did start off by getting a little bit injured. I think the word is he should be ready for week 1.
Yep.
They got Kendrick Bourne and Jacoby Myers in the slot right now. Both of those guys are fast. Both of those guys are great route runners. And they have the potential deep threat in Aguilar. I mean, I don't love it, but he's there.
He's going to drop a lot of passes, okay, guys?
But he's there.
Hands like Aguilar.
All like Aguilar and his dropping hands.
With all that being said, I really do. I'm a huge Cam fan. I really do hope Cam Newton. I have a Cam Newton jersey. Obviously, I'm rocking the Mac Jones today, but I have a Cam Newton jersey. I want him to be successful. But on top of all of that, if Cam Newton can't capitalize, this is Mac Jones's team. This is his team. He has to play his cards right. He has to listen to everything Bill says, McDaniel says, every single thing, and just soak it all in. Wait for Cam Newton to make a mistake and suck and come in and play amazingly and take over and lead the Patriots to another dynasty, just like Tom Brady did. I'm not saying Mac Jones is Tom Brady, but Bill Belichick is setting this team up the way he set 01, 03, 04, and on. A solid defense that he built himself, brought key players in to play, set up an offense, 2 tight end sets. And how many running backs do we have now? Like 5?
18.
5 running backs that can all pop off.
We went from 8 to 7 now. So
yeah, but every single one can pop off for 100, 200 yards in a game. And like I said, like I mentioned earlier, I gave you a little look ahead. Watch out for this game plan with the New England Patriots. As I mentioned, the Bills were in the cellar with regards to rushing yards and as far as running the football and playing defense against the run. Watch Bill Belichick use that to his advantage to win both of those games against Buffalo, to control the clock, run the ball with Cam Newton or anything. And again, Bill Belichick is zigging, everybody's zagging, and they had the 19th strength of schedule. Over under is 9 games. I'm slamming the over. The Patriots are winning 11 games. They're going 11-6, baby.
Okay. No, it's a great take, Sami. Everything you said there was spot on, except for the fact that this is Mac Jones's team. This is not Mac Jones's team. This is Cam Newton's team. As of right now, I like Cam Newton a lot, and I've always liked Cam Newton a lot. I think he is the best quarterback on this team right now. I think he's going to be the best quarterback on this team for the next 2 years at least. If this team makes the playoffs, it will be because Cam Newton is starting at quarterback. If Mac Jones is starting at quarterback, we do not make the playoffs. I have no faith in Mac Jones. Not that I think he's a bad quarterback. I just don't think he's ready for this yet. Give it a few years, maybe a year or 2 sitting behind Cam. If he's starting as a rookie quarterback, we're not making the playoffs, guys. One big name that you guys left off the list of returning players was Dante Hightower, who opted out for COVID in 2020. He will be back in 2021. Yep. This defense is going to be the best defense in the league, guys, hands down. Maybe second to Tampa Bay. I don't think so. Number 1 defense in the league.
Or Washington, but okay.
You heard it here first.
Second on the yak over
Here first. New England Patriots will have the best defense in the league per DVOA or whatever you want, whatever metric you want to use.
Patriots already have a better secondary than the Bucs.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And you know what? And they lost. Yes, they lost Patrick Chung, but they gained Jason Mills. So that's a big win there. I like this team a lot. This is one of the how do I want to phrase this? This is the most excited I've been for a Patriots team in a long time. Yes, I've been excited with the Tom Brady teams, but you guys don't understand, when you're winning that much, it's not so much excitement, it is pressure.
Bitch about anything.
So we have
anything. I hate that he went there.
Pressure. So it was more like, God, we better do something. We better make the playoffs. We better make the Super Bowl. We better win it. This year, I'm actually excited about this team. I'm a little bit more bullish than Sami. 13-4 for my New England Patriots to win the AFC East.
Okay. I agree with a lot what both of y'all said. I'm just gonna give the record now. I have them at 11-6. Exactly where you have them, Sami. Cam. I'm a big Cam fan, man. I just always, ever since Auburn, I'm like, man, this dude is different. I like him. So I like his moxie. I think he's, when we talk about Mac Jones and Cam, I think, Mac will be ready, but not, we talk about this whole Tom Brady thing. It's not like Tom Brady started his rookie season. So being a rookie is still being a rookie. It's tough. Okay.
I just meant that this core players are his team, like going forward. I didn't mean necessarily.
Yeah, of course. This core, but like not this, maybe not this year. He might get the opportunity at some point this year. And, it might be because they're forced to, and he'll probably be ready by at that point. But as of right now, keep it with Cam. I know it's preseason. And I know we didn't have all of our first team in, but you guys killed us last week, and Cam looked really good. Mac looked good too, but Cam looked amazing. I'm like, yeah, Cam, as long as he's again, same thing I said about Cole Beasley and the UCF guy, the whole thing, with the vaccine and everything. Hopefully they get that all under order. He's able to, they have like 2 weeks off. I mean, obviously they have a preseason game, but he's not going to be playing in that game anyway. I don't think so. But either way, I think by week 1, Cam should be the starter. Hunter Henry, and if he can stay healthy for at least 12 games, that'd be great. Jonnu Smith, I really like Jonnu Smith a lot. Defensively, oh my God, they're going to be great. I have him at 11-6 because there is some uncertainty at quarterback, because I feel like when you have 2 quarterbacks, you still have 0 quarterbacks. They need to figure out psychologically what they want to do there. I don't like Nelson Aguilar on your team because I feel bad for you guys. But he's a product of Tampa Prep High School, something like that. So shout out to Nelson Aguilar. I rented him a car before when I used to work at Enterprise, but outside of that, 11-6, and then you guys need to figure out what the hell's going on with N'Keal Harry, because it's a very confusing situation. I don't like to call people bust, but yeah, he's
He couldn't do it with Tom Brady. He couldn't do it by himself with nothing else, and at least show something. So
he sucks.
Yeah, so that's all.
Yeah, I just hate the Patriots. Like I fucking hate them. I love you guys, but I hate your team so much and everything from Boston. But holy offseason, man. Like, talk about bitching about how far are we gonna go in the playoffs? Like, we gotta win the Super Bowl. At least you get to the fucking playoffs and win the division every year. Like, that's some shit to bitch about.
We didn't win last year.
I get it. I get it. 1 year you don't win anything and you look like a mediocre team, and Bill's back there just like the dog in the fire, like everything is fine. Like, I'm gonna have a great offseason. Everything's fine. So look what he does, man. He blows up the roster and makes the necessary transactions. I left Donta Hightower off of there because he wasn't a signing. He's already signed and on the roster. He's coming back.
That is a big time.
But it is a big addition to it as well.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't pay attention to you fools because I hate your fucking team. So like, I don't give a fuck. But that defense, like plug in Matt Judon now. It's amazing. Now you have Kyle Van Noy there, who's a tackling machine. It's amazing. Patrick Chung, he gets burned a lot, man. But now you got Jalen Mills, who's younger and definitely capable of doing better. It's just.
You're welcome.
Fuck, man. Like, I hate it. I wish we could win. I just wish my team would win some games, man, and make me happy. And my biggest thing with the Patriots is the whole COVID thing going on with Cam. because like I keep reading that like they're really, really upset with him how this is being played out. And they're saying that Mac Jones could end up being the starting quarterback, which I don't believe that one bit. I don't think Bill would give the reins over to Mac Jones that quick.
He won't.
He's a definite kind of like Brian Hoyer will take the reins before Mac Jones takes the reins.
Okay.
Yeah. Which is funny that you say that, but that would not surprise me.
Probably would.
Yeah, no,
Honestly,
that's so sad. Like,
that's definitely a Bill Belichick thing.
Yeah, I think the thing with Cam has to get resolved now, whatever that shit is that's going on, that's been going on today. Because that's a big thing. If there's like some kind of fuck up there and they're mad at each other on both sides and like they like change the locks and shit and he can't get in the facility, like I don't know, man. But if Cam is healthy, like, you protected Cam. Cam needs protection to be successful. You've got him a great O-line, and you've got 2 tight ends to help out now. If one's not catching, the other one's blocking. And now insert 8 running backs that are all caliber 1-2 running backs on any team. Like I text you guys the other day, like, how do y'all feel about Sonny Michel? And you're just like, trade him. I'm like, yo, send him my way, man. I'll take the motherfucker, man. Like Sonny Michel is good. But like he's just like, it's like the Toy Story meme, like, I don't want to play with you anymore. You know, now we've got Damian Harris and this other guy that was running out the other day. But
Ramondre Stevenson.
Kudos to you guys on blowing up the roster and making the necessary moves. All that young talent that you had, like the N'Keal Harry, like he should be afraid of like his job now. Like you just went and got Kendrick Bourne, who's fast as shit. And you've got guys in there like Jacoby Myers, who actually wants to play and like be featured in the offense that will light a fire under his ass to either be better or just get that cancer out of there and you'll be straight.
Yeah, he's trash.
Y'all are either be 1 or 2 in the division. You easily could win the division with all these roster moves. I think the one big thing for me though, outside of the quarterback, is the gelling. Is everybody going to gel right the first time out the gates? And I think Bill has a very small margin of error and he's not afraid to cut big name players if that doesn't work. So I think that's the biggest thing, but I think it'll be okay. I also have them at 11-6 is what I have them at. But it's definitely a big step up from last season. Mm-hmm. And if somebody opts out for COVID, it's gonna be solid.
And just like you started off this take, Sammy. You remember they were 7-9 last year, and they were half of what this team is now. So they're the ceiling is the roof. Again, like I said, that their only direction is up.
Not to throw conspiracies out there. But Bill Belichick looked at going into last season. I think they had a top 10 strength of schedule last year, and they played. And as you guys saw, Seahawks, Bills, Chiefs, Steelers, like all these teams that obviously were way better with us than us without Tom Brady. Yeah. So maybe he knew, like, you know, I'm not saying he wants to lose games, but he had a lot of margin to kind of work with what he had, see what he had that he needed to plug a couple players here and there and look at what we could do the following season and probably get an easier schedule, because obviously if you're 3rd or 4th in the division, your schedule is going to be a lot easier. So,
believe me, I pay attention to stuff like that a lot. I'm like, that's why I like the Eagles. I'm like, look, man, we were the worst team last year. We should be. I like the easier schedule.
Yeah.
All right, last team in the division. Why I made this podcast. Let's do it. So yeah, we have a new quarterback. And we added a lot of misfits to the team. I'll go down key additions. We re-signed Josh Adams at running back. Running back Tevin Coleman. Wide receiver Keelan Cole. Wide receiver Corey Davis.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Tight ends Tyler Croft. Offensive tackle Morgan Moses. Old man Vinny Curry. The highlight on the defense at training camp, who has an ACL injury now, defensive end Carl Lawson.
Oh,
I thought it was Achilles.
Oh no, that's even worse.
I think it's Achilles. I'll look it up again.
He gives a shit. He's hurt.
Yeah, he's out for the year.
Throw that one out. He's gone.
Yeah,
gone. I missed that one.
Carl Lawson.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. Defensive tackle Sheldon Rankins. We got him from the Saints. Linebacker Gerard Davis. He's out now, out until week 6. And they were high on that signing. He came from the Lions, by the way, if you know who Gerard Davis is.
I do.
We franchise tagged and signed while also pissing off Marcus May, so he won't be there next year. And defensive back LaMarcus Joyner. How's that offseason sound to you?
You got Robert Saleh though.
Yeah.
I love my head coach. I love my head coach. I really do. I love his take on all gas, no break. I love it. But these signings are killing me. Key departures, we traded and gave up on Sam Darnold, and I hope he fucking wreaks havoc in the NFC East, or in the NFC South. Frank Gore, he's still alive. He's unemployed. Brashad Perriman, who cares? Cornerback Brian Poole and safety Bradley McDougal. That's all I could think of. But our draft picks, I'm very, very excited about our draft. I'm not too high on the quarterback, although he showed a little bit of flash. He's got some chemistry going with the tight end already. And that's good for me. Like, that should be a rookie quarterback's best friend is the tight end. Excited. So Zach Wilson was first. Then we also went and shocked the world and took Elijah Vera Tucker, which I wasn't expecting that. I wanted Najee Harris, but I'm not mad with it. We moved up to get that, and I'm cool with it. Now we have the highlight everyone keeps talking about, but I'm more of a prove me wrong kind of guy with wide receiver Elijah Moore. And then we took not only one, but two Michael Carters in a running back and a cornerback. So we're just stockpiling on Michael Carters. Yeah, man. So I'm going to take it away.
Yeah, take it away.
Please, let you cook. You're cooking.
Yeah.
This is my team. This is it back here, man. Yeah. I make this podcast for you. Woody Johnson, first off, your name is two names for your own penis. So if you're listening to this fucking podcast, sell the fucking team, man. Like, you're the worst fucking owner in all of football. Like, we had the ability to like leapfrog and do so much good stuff with so much cap space, and they didn't sign anything that's appealing. Not one big name that sticks out. Like, there's always that one jet, at least one fucking jet that sticks out, like a Darrelle Revis or a Curtis Martin, or I don't know, anything, man, but nothing. There's nothing on this roster. And you pissed off the one guy that's worth the shit, and now he's going to be gone. So it's going into dark days. I'm not happy with any of this except for the head coach. But once again, we always bring in a great head coach. It's been three really, or out of the last four head coaches, this will be the third good head coach I think that we've hired, and just got him out of there. The Adam Gase era, I completely forgot about that shit already. But Rex Ryan was a great hire. Todd Bowles was an excellent hire right afterwards. Fuck the Gase era, and this is a good hire. A lot of young guys on this team. I just don't see a lot of things happening. I hope they prove me wrong. Don't get me wrong, but it's the same shit with the Jets every year. We'll get mediocre talent. We'll try and develop it. And you what's the saying we like, Sammy? You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
This is it. You're like, okay, you cherry picked and got Tyler Kroft out of the Bills. You picked a Super Bowl winner out of Vinny Curry. You picked a guy that was doing very well in Jacksonville and Cole. Like, all these guys have like a very like stick out thing on their resume. Like, oh, you played with this guy, or oh, you did this, or oh, this. But there's nothing that like I'm happy about. I'm not happy. The only thing I'm happy about, honestly, is the offensive line. The offensive line is starting to come together, and I like it. Like, the last two picks of the offensive line look good, but rookies got to prove me wrong. You know, or they got to live up to the hype. Elijah Moore, I hope he's the second coming of fucking Megatron or whatever the fuck they want to compare this guy to, because he's like all I hear about. And even Cake is like, you should be happy, like, be excited for this. Like, I'm not excited for anything, man.
That's
like,
your Lavernius Coles, bro.
Yeah,
Lavernius Coles. Blast from the past.
Lavernius Coles, man. Like, that was, yeah, exactly, a blast from the past for real. He's my Wayne Corbett, but black.
Wayne Corbett, yeah, I was my other name.
Fuck, man. It's a 3-14 season for me, man. It's a 3-14 season, and I'm being generous at that. I'd be surprised to even win a fucking game, because honestly, I'd rather them lose every game and stick to the fucking script and win to get fucking the best quarterback in the draft. Not this, oh, he's got Hawaiian blood in him bullshit, Barbie Brady Bunch looking fuck at my quarterback. So I don't know, man. Like,
hey, Rod, you're being way too tough on Zach Wilson.
Roast this team.
You're being way too tough on Zach Wilson.
Coming in the dog shit. So take the dog shit, man. Like, listen. I think the way that you treated Sam Darnold and ran him out of there because they didn't give him any help. You didn't give him any help. There's nothing. If you would have gave him a Corey Davis or anything like that, it would have been better. But what do you
still would have thrown interceptions? Listen, I don't care what you say. Darnold is not good. He's a turnover machine in college and high school and Pee Wee and Pop Warner and kindergarten. He's going to continue to turn over the ball. So I know you have a man crush on this man, Sam Darnold. Get over, okay? Zach Wilson is going to bring energy to New York. I'm telling you, he's ready for this random kid from the state of Utah has a lot more ego and cockiness and swag to his game. Bro. A lot more swag to his game than anybody on that roster. Okay, so be high on him. Okay,
like he's gonna bring
his energy. Max with your head coach is going to be exactly what this football team needs. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go do anything this year. I got them at 4-13, but this is the building blocks of a good recipe to get to that next step. Okay, so don't be. And your offensive line is going to get better. Zach's going to get better. Elijah Moore seems like he's going to be that guy. I don't really care for Corey Davis, but you got him, okay? Your defense is whatever, and you got Carl Lawson. He's hurt now, so that sucks. Your running game is going to be okay. Michael Carter is good. We'll see, and then Coleman, we'll see. Okay, so not too much to say here, but I'm not going to sit here and let all this slander go towards Mr. Zach Wilson like that because I watched the way he delivers the ball. It's quick. He's really good with his hips. He's elusive with his feet. He's going to be able to get out the pocket. I'm not going to just sit here and just take all of that. Shout out to Zach Wilson, but they're still going to be 4-13.
I don't fuck if he can hula hoop with his hips, bro. Like, I'm not sold on this kid, man. He needs whatever.
I'm not going to sit here and say Zach Wilson's the next coming. I don't want to get A-Rod's hopes up, and I don't want to lie on his podcast. I'm not saying that. But I think the biggest thing to take away with Zach Wilson, that dude is coming to play.
Yes.
And now if you look at what they said in training camp, they said he sucks this, he sucks that, he does not look good, this and that. He came out week 1 and probably looked one of the better rookie quarterbacks. He wasn't the best one in week 1, but he looked like one of the better ones. Then he comes out in week 2, and then he is the best rookie quarterback out of all of them. So every week he's gotten better. And like A-Rod mentioned, he's getting a good rapport with Tyler Kroft. That's always a really good thing when you have a good rapport with your tight end,
especially when you're young.
Now I'm a huge Corey Davis guy, and I always will be. So maybe this is my bias speaking in my rose-colored glasses. The dude can run great routes. Dude's pretty fast. I hate how it all turned out for him in Tennessee. AJ Brown coming up, and then Corey Davis was like A-Rod mentioned with the Patriots. I don't want to play with you anymore, Corey Davis, because AJ Brown is better than you. I do like Elijah Moore. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, A-Rod. And this is – I don't like Tevin Coleman because he just proves he can't be a number one running back. He's good. Like, I like him, and I want to like him.
Yeah.
But he's a scat back. He's a pure scat back. He's your second, sometimes third down guy. That's out in the flats, make a play. That's it. He can't be your number one. I think, I think Zach Wilson's enough for more than 2 games. I think they're going to win 4. I'm with you, KK. I'm right with you. I think 4-13. It's the over under is 6 right now. I'm slamming the under.
I'm slamming the under too.
What'd you say? The over under is 6?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the sake of time, I think we're entering our 2.5 hour here.
Sorry.
Yeah.
But for the sake of time, I'm just going to keep brief. The Jets suck, and they're very bad. They didn't get better. They're going to suck again. 4-13.
There we go.
I'm okay with it. Yeah, the team is trash, man. All right, so let's wrap up the show. We usually do the fun segment at the very end. Today, we're going to do, in light of the Marvel show on Disney Plus, What If? We're going to piggyback off of that, since it's also the KK informed me. Today is the 2-year anniversary that Andrew Luck abruptly retired from the NFL.
Crazy.
So what if Andrew Luck kept playing? Like, what would that team look like? How would their winning culture? What could they have built around them? So we're gonna give some of the what ifs in sports. If this happened, how would it have turned out? So, boys, who wants to go first?
Yeah, you guys are the guests. Go first.
I'll let Sami go first because I know Sami was very excited about this. He had a number of them. I have one that is pretty good, but I'll let Sami go first.
How many we get? We got 3.
Do 3.
Oh, we had 3. We have 3. We have to do 3 each.
You don't have to do 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't have to do 3.
Come here with 10. Like shit.
No, I had 4.
Okay.
All right, this one is quick. And Vic already guessed it. What if the Len Bias situation turned out better?
I had that one too.
That
All
yeah,
right,
I mean,
that's one off my list.
yeah, people say the Celtics could have been better or whatever.
I agree.
Dynasty never ends.
And then this one is a second one. My second one is a shout out to A-Rod. What if Charlie Ward played football instead of basketball?
Jesus.
Real quick, the quarterbacks taken before him in that draft where they didn't want to take him in the draft: Heath Schuler, Trent Dilfer, Gus Frerotte. Those guys are better than Charlie Ward? No.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
Gus Frerotte.
Third one, real quick: Brandon Roy.
Yeah.
What if his knees were
Roy.
longer? He would have probably lasted longer than 5 years. And then the final one, nice ode to the Patriots. What if Tom Brady didn't tear his ACL in 2008?
Oh, we won the Super Bowl. That's easy.
Yeah.
So my one and only is, what if Michael Jordan kept playing baseball and never unretired and came back to the NBA? What does the NBA look like now?
Wow. Hakeem might have a couple more of those. Karl Malone might have got one. Charles Barkley probably would have stole one.
Yeah. There's a few
that helped a lot of guys' careers.
Yeah. Scottie Pippen probably would have got paid more money.
Yeah. Wow, that's a good one.
That's a good one.
All right. I got, what if the Hornets kept Kobe Bryant and didn't trade for Vlade Divac?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That hurts Hornets fans, I'm sure.
Yeah. I got another one to piggyback off that with the Lakers. What if the CP3 trade in 2011?
Ooh.
What if the Seahawks ran the ball?
You had to.
Had to. And then I got 2 Nick-related ones. What if Patrick Ewing didn't tear his ACL in the 99 playoffs?
Robinson still would have killed him.
That shit out of here. That's a different look. The Big definitely destroyed him in that game. And then the last one was, what if Spike Lee would have sat the fuck down in the 94 semifinals? What would that look like? That's my last one.
All right.
All
right, my quick hitters. And a couple of these are in honor of you. So my first one was, what if Len Bias didn't overdose and pass away? That was the dynasty I would have just kept going, and that would have affected Michael Jordan's career because everybody was saying, yeah, that guy, he's good.
Did he take Jordan's records in college? Like he took
all ACC stuff. Yeah, it was Len Bias. So what if that didn't happen? Another one, because you guys are here. What if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt?
Oh shit!
What if Drew Bledsoe never got hurt?
That's a good one.
That is good.
That's a one we had to discuss on another episode because
that Mo Williams, right? Or Mo? Who was that? A-Rod that did that. The defensive end for the Jets. Mo Williams, was it? Or Mo
that hurt?
Byron Michael Cox.
Yeah, that's who it was. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
So what if Drew Bledsoe? We would never know about the 6th-round draft pick, 199 overall out of the University of Michigan.
I don't think he has a. Well, he probably starts the next season, right?
Probably. We don't know. We'll get to this conversation one day because that's a big one.
That's a good one.
And then one was to kind of piggyback off of what you guys said, but it wasn't if he would have stayed in baseball. What if MJ never considered baseball in the first place? So let's say he kept playing through 95, 94, 95, 96, and then he never even did the last dance. So 99, 2000, 2001, 2002. So he just played full out 19, 20 years, kind of like Kobe and LeBron. What if he never retired, period? And then finally, eventually left off. How many in a row would he have actually won? I don't think he would have won 6. I don't think he would have won 6, to be honest with you, had he not retired. I think he needed that break, and it helped him a lot So that's another conversation. And then my last one in honor of Kobe's birthday yesterday, 8/24 day today, and all that stuff. My favorite basketball player of all time is Allen Iverson. Don't get me wrong, okay? But what if we drafted the local kid, Kobe, number 1 overall over Allen Iverson? How the Philadelphia 76ers would have looked for 20 seasons. So,
wow, that's tough. I mean, you mentioning the Kobe thing, man. That's
like KK, when you posted that video of Kobe after the Super Bowl, like even though that Super Bowl hurt me,
like
it kind of brought like a little tear to my eye.
How much he loved the Eagles, man. He loved Philly. I remember when he went to the All-Star game back in 2002 and we booed him because Philadelphia is the worst city ever. And he was very emotional, like sad. Like, it's a whole, I mean, like they booed me and he won All-Star MVP and they booed
high
him.
school.
So, I have the Joe Bryant jersey, Kobe's dad, the Bean, Philadelphia 76er, number 23. So that's always a what if for me as well.
Yeah. Actually, you know what? You guys reminded me of one. Kendrick Perkins not getting hurt in the.
They would have won Game 7. 1,000% would have won. And it's crazy how these things happen. Like, what if Kyrie and Kevin Love never got hurt in 2015? There's never a dynasty for Golden State. What if Kendrick Perkins didn't get hurt in Game 7? They would have definitely won. Well, he got hurt in Game 6, right?
The ball in Game 1. He would at least won one game.
So it's just a lot of these are just, man, it's crazy how the course of the world could have just changed.
Sports history. Just
bro, Drew Bledsoe, what if he never got hurt?
Like, that's what I want to talk. That would be crazy.
That's wild. But we'll get to that one day. We definitely went a little deep in time today, but we'll get to that.
Exactly. But it's always good having you guys on. So.
Yeah, it's a pleasure of ours. So we appreciate you guys having us.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Plug your guys' podcast. You got the floor. Take it away.
You guys can find us on YouTube if you search Townie Sports, or you can look at the House of Fandom. That is our YouTube channel. We carry the sports. We are Townie Sports, and our sister show, the not so good looking show, House of Fandom show, they do all of the Marvel and movie fandom stuff. So we just combined into one called
I gotta get on that.
So fandom and all that stuff. You can also find us on Instagram at Townie_sports. I give you a lot more. If you like this guy Vic's random thoughts on his picks, I just post all the funny ones that he says because they make for a good laugh. But yeah, follow us at those areas. You can also find us obviously on Spotify, iTunes, and YouTube, of course,
and MySpace.
Watch out for those Bengals.
Yeah,
watch out for the Bengals.
When Vic gets that liquor in him, some crazy things start being thrown out there, by the way. Just want to throw that out there.
Dale Tice is the best player in the NBA, goddammit. And I stand by it.
That was a good episode. As for us, Twitter, you can find us at fair_weather_pod. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, just search the Fair Weather Podcast. You will find us. And wherever you subscribe to podcasts, you can find us there as well.
I got nothing to add but fly, Eagles fly, and that's it.
JETS.
Thanks, guys. We love you.
The season.
Shout out to Townie Sports.